Good morning, everybody. Soundgarden outshined. Yes, that's how we start today. Where's my head? There we go. Okay. Good morning, Jimmy.
Hello.
I was playing Outshine because it's one of the songs featured in True Romance, and you might be asking, why the hell are you playing a song from True Romance? Well, Jimmy quotes that movie all the time, and I sit here and nod and make believe I know what he's fucking talking about, and I finally decided, you know what, why don't you refresh your memory on the damn movie? So I watched it on Saturday morning. Oh, my God, I forgot how great that fucking movie was.
Very underrated.
Is it underrated, you think?
People like it, but it's not considered a great movie. Like, anyone who's seen it likes it, but when you hear people talking about great movies, you never hear True Romance mentioned, but the acting in that and the names in that is phenomenal.
Yeah, the performances are just top-notch, top-notch. You think maybe the blood and gore takes away from the fact that it's not considered a great movie?
I don't know. It's probably Dennis Hopper's scene with Walken.
Amazing.
People are afraid to say how phenomenal that is. It's drama, it's comedy, it's everything.
It's everything you want from a film. And I'm in love with Alabama.
Yeah, she's quite lovely.
And then I saw Patricia Arquette. She's on TV. She's got some kind of series. I saw it the other night, and it kind of just depressed me. I'm like, oh, that's right. Time is just a bitch in the end. Mm-hmm. She's a beautiful older woman, but you know, seeing her in True Romance, young and sexy and
vivacious.
Vivacious, sure.
You know who was in that movie?
Bodacious.
And I didn't realize it until I just saw it again. I saw it again recently too.
Yeah.
He was one of the mafia guys, and he's the last mafia guy to live. His name is I think it's Paul Ben Victor. He was the guy who comes to the Comedy Cellar. He was in The Wire in season 2. He was Spiros.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the Greek guys.
Yeah.
And he was the one who spoke Italian. He don't think he spoke any English. He's screaming after he's shot in Italian.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, that guy pops up in a whole bunch of different movies. I just saw him in what movie was it? I'm not going to remember. Whatever. Yeah, he pops up a lot. That's what we should say there. But I finally saw True Romance, so now I'm going to understand more of your references as far as that movie goes. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, fuck, I forgot how great this movie was.
Yeah.
And I wish I saw it before Christian Slater came in here.
I think because it was written by Tarantino, but not directed by Tarantino, that it's not considered like a better film.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's the blood, unfortunately. But, I mean, you know, it was great. You know, Gandolfini beating the shit out of Patricia Arquette.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
My God.
Don't forget, Reservoir Dogs had a good amount of blood in it, too.
Right.
That's right.
And you're getting sliced off.
Right.
Maybe he didn't direct it. I don't know.
I think True Romance has more blood, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, we're talking about a movie from 1993, but I felt there was time to watch it again.
Not to spoil the ending of a film from 1993, but when Christian Slater was in here, I wanted to ask him, the story I had read a while ago is that at the end, that last shootout, Christian Slater dies, and it didn't test well, so then they reshot the last scene at the beach where he has like an eye patch on, and he's standing there and he's waving.
Yeah, that seemed like an afterthought, didn't it? And that scene seemed like it was filmed way after, right? Maybe I don't know because I wasn't there, but it didn't match up with the rest of the film.
Right.
I didn't mind the ending.
I didn't mind it either, but it would, if that story is true, it would sort of make sense if he died at the end.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Stupid fucking Hollywood.
Yeah.
Although, didn't he wake up? Doesn't he wake up? But he wakes up in the movie. Like when he's in the movie, he's laying there after getting shot. And then in that moment, she's kneeling over him.
Right.
And he's like, and he turns his head, and he kind of looks at her, and then she walks with him down through the lobby past everybody. So that was obviously shot there.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about,
Maybe
Justin?
That's what I had read at the time.
Or maybe Quentin filmed it a couple different ways, and he wanted to use the one where maybe Slater does die there.
He didn't film it.
That's right.
I'm
sorry. Right.
Yeah.
Why didn't he want to direct it? Do you know, Travis?
He lost interest in it. He just sold the script.
How does he lose interest in a script like that?
I don't know, because it's amazing.
But
it was after Reservoir Dogs, so it was before Pulp Fiction. So maybe he was just concentrating on Pulp Fiction.
He's such a good writer, man.
Yeah, and he can only really do like one thing at a time. You know, like he keeps one thing, and then he
was it Christian Slater that told us that after Reservoir Dogs they asked him if he had anything else, and he went into his drawer and said, "Oh, I got this movie."
Yeah, that's what he said last week.
So it was just kind of thrown in a drawer, just waiting.
He's got a million ideas.
Oh, I know. He's
Like he wanted to do a Vega Brothers movie, but he never got around to it. Now he says they're too old to even think about it.
He's like Woody Allen. That Woody Allen documentary. Remember when they went through his apartment or whatever, and all those scripts that are just in a drawer?
Yeah.
What? An alternate ending, which was Quentin Tarantino's original ending to the script. Clarence dies and Alabama leaves alone with the money. She is then shown driving to Mexico alone, and she delivers a narrative monologue which indicates that she never really cared about Clarence, but used him to get away from Drexel and get money from the drugs. Wow. Tony Scott didn't use this ending because he felt that the audience would fall in love with Clarence and Alabama and would want to see them get away together. In a commentary on the alternate ending, Tarantino agreed that Scott's happy ending was better for the film that he made. QT stated that if he had made the film, he would have used the ending that he had originally written because he would have made the film in a different tone.
There you go.
That's believable.
So that's how it was written, but it was never filmed that way.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes a happy ending is actually the right one, and that to me, I would have hated that if she just all of a sudden was a twat at the end and used him to get away from Drexel.
Yeah, I kind of like that they fell in love. But Christian Slater's character certainly had some issues, so you could see where he would have been gullible for a hot young thing like Alabama, right? And then she's the one that's working the whole thing in the end. I could see it that way as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad they didn't do that. Yeah, and some good music in that movie too. That kind of holds up. Jimmy, the last time we saw Jim Norton was last Thursday, and he was on his way to Pittsburgh for a fine gig. I heard the gig was well, right?
It was awesome. Sold out with, it was Michael Che, myself, Tom Segura, his wife, Christine Patzinski. I can never say her name right. And Bill, how do you say Bill's last name? It is Crawford. Okay. Who's on Randy's morning show. It was awesome. All funny, really good show. Great crowd.
How many people?
Whatever they told, 1,000 people was
nice.
The capacity.
Nice show.
Yeah.
And they were cool down there in Pittsburgh? The show was cool and all?
A great audience.
Nice. No, I mean the radio guys. You like
Randy
those guys.
is awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. And so is Bill. I guess he's a permanent member now. I don't know if he always was, but...
Hello, Bill.
Yeah, very, very good show.
The problem is that you almost didn't make it there, Jim, and everyone on Twitter was once again on the edge of their seats watching your progress as you tried to leave Newark, New Jersey to go to Pittsburgh. A real easy flight. What is it, maybe an hour?
50 minutes to an hour.
And your videos you posted were great. I mean, you were getting angrier and angrier as you went.
So people always ask, why do you still fly United? There's times where, because the United's truly a terrible company, but there's times when you're flying somewhere where you only have so many choices as to time and your destination. And I had the show, and it's like a lot of airlines just aren't compatible.
Yeah, you gotta, you don't really have a choice. It's like, I need to be here at this time. This is the only airline that's pretty much doing that for me today.
Yeah, once in a while we'll have a choice of, if it's a morning flight, it's easy, but when it's a mid-afternoon flight to a market like that, it's not always as easy to. I think there might have been one other airline.
Yeah.
That had a choice, and we just took United because they're closer.
I love the videos because the first one, you were kind of having a little fun with the whole situation. And then when I noticed there was another 4 or 5, I'm like, oh boy. And then you were just getting madder and madder as it went. The first one was like, oh, a little delay. I'll make a little video. Oh, fuck.
They're terrible. Like, they're really, I've talked to a lot of their employees. Every single one of them hates the guy who runs it. Jeff Smy's like, he's awful. They're not a good airline.
What's his problem?
I don't know. He ran Continental, and then when they merged, it was just, it's an abomination. And I think they're ranked really low on customers. They stink.
They don't have their shit together.
I mean, they're terrible. They're like, I don't even, the reason I tweeted something stupid, I didn't feel safe on their, here's why. The first flight was supposed to go at like, I think 11 o'clock, or no, what time was it supposed to go? 1:15 and land at 2:15. So we get the, Kenny, as I get in the car, says, it's an hour delay. So I'm like, let's just go to the airport anyway. We'll get there early.
Get a bite
whatever.
to eat.
It's annoying, but so what? It happens.
Yeah.
It was a maintenance delay. Where was the plane, Kenny? It was in,
Chicago.
Coming from Chicago. It was going to be a little late because they were having a maintenance issue.
Yeah. And then, we got almost 40 or 50 text messages from United. So you can sign up for the text message plan there, right? Where they keep you updated on what's going on with your flight.
Yes, you can sign up for email or text message alerts.
And here's why they're so bad. Because they don't just give you, like, I know sometimes maintenance issues take a while to work out, but they're not telling you anything truthful. They keep extending it by 20 minutes and then a half hour. Now departs 3 o'clock instead of 2:15. Now departs 3:20. Now departs 4 o'clock. They just continually, they're like edging you.
Yeah.
They're like leading you on.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I think I said this in one of the videos, but the hot girl is kind of acting like she might sleep with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're not just telling you this flight is going to be canceled. And there's times where they don't know, but they do it every time the same way.
Yeah, why do they do that? They're just wasting your day in the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're a horrible company.
I want to read these text messages and then obviously jump in when you need to here. So first flight originally scheduled to depart 1:15 arrives at 2:42. Okay. 11 a.m. You guys get a text message. Flight is on time. Nice. 11:17 a.m. Flight is delayed and now departs 2:15, waiting for incoming aircraft, like you said. 11:49, you get another text. Now departs 2:45, so now they move the departure 30 minutes. Maintenance delay. At 12:34, you get a text message that says, now departs 3:15. 1:16 p.m., a mere little over a half hour later, now departs 4:15.
So now we're 2 hours into a delay.
Yeah.
And we know the airline well enough to know they're going to cancel this flight. Like, instead of just saying...
You knew.
We're of course.
Yeah.
Instead of just
So why
saying
would you do that to yourselves?
Well, we had to look at another flight.
Well, yeah, now we were trying to get on another flight.
Oh, that's right, because you ended up bailing on this first situation.
Well, we went to another flight. We tried to.
Right.
And we got the final text. What was it? 2:25 p.m.
Yeah.
Now departs 5 o'clock. We had got on standby for a 3:45 p.m. flight.
Yeah.
Which was a different aircraft.
Right.
Because this plane never left Chicago.
No.
So we're now on standby. We're trying to get on standby for a different aircraft at 3:45. We're like, all right, whatever. So at 3 o'clock we go to the gate to inquire about the 3:45 flight, which was now delayed because of maintenance. So the flight coming from Chicago is a maintenance issue. The plane that's in Newark, leaving at 3:45, is a maintenance issue. 2 consecutive planes to the same destination, I mean, one to Newark and then to Pittsburgh, and then one to Pittsburgh, are delayed because of maintenance issues.
And both United, obviously.
Of course.
You didn't change airlines. So the standby flight that was a 3:45 flight was confirmed to leave at 6 o'clock, basically.
Well, it was supposed to originally leave at 3:45, and then they got it got at 3:07. There was a text. Now departs 5:18. At 3:54, there was another text. Now departs 5:35. 4:14, there's another text. Now departs 6 o'clock. 4:33, there's one. Now departs 7 o'clock. At 4:48, now departs 6:30. They go earlier, and then at 5:25, canceled due to refueling problems. Or was that the first one, Kenny?
Well, we abandoned the 3:45 because
right.
we were only on standby.
Yeah.
And then they made the announcement that the plane was oversold.
Yeah.
And they were looking for volunteers not to take a later flight that day, to take a flight the next morning.
Oh, God.
And we would get a hotel room and $300.
Right.
Right. So we never we tried to get on that flight, but we couldn't because it was too crowded.
Oversold. Yeah.
So you had so you're back to the original flight.
Right, yes.
Plus there was 2 more people in front of us on standby.
Yeah.
But we were confirmed on a 5:58.
Right.
Yeah, we took another. So these are 2 different planes, both maintenance issues. Now, so the one Kenny's talking about.
And you guys got to the airport, what, around 11:30?
No, 12:15.
12:15. Yeah, 2 hours early.
We had a nice lunch.
Yeah. So now
we went to the President's Club like gentlemen.
Yeah. An hour early we got there.
So now you've been at the airport almost 5 hours, right, at this point?
There is an upside to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the quality time I got to spend with Jim.
Yeah, we did get to spend a lot of time together, which was really nice. Yeah, so the second flight we were confirmed on.
So what? I'm starting to get confused now.
No, don't. There's one flight that got canceled.
So now the first flight, okay, now that's canceled, and the standby flight you had to bail on because you actually could not get on that.
Right, but it was a maintenance issue anyway.
I gotcha.
I couldn't believe they were saying maintenance. I'm like, this is the second flight in a row with a maintenance problem.
So technically 2 flights, because shouldn't this be the third flight?
This is the third flight.
Okay, the third flight. Go ahead.
So the second flight we were confirmed to actually be on.
Right.
Was going to depart 5:58 and arrive at 7:28. We're like, this day sucks, but whatever.
We'll just deal.
So at 3:58, your flight is on time.
So you guys are starting to feel good about yourselves, like, okay.
Well, yeah, because no airline in history No, in the history of aviation, no airline has ever had 3 maintenance issues to the same destination on the same day with 3 different planes.
What are the odds of that happening?
It's never happened.
Okay, good.
So at 5:20, we go to the gate to board because we're stupid and we're optimistic.
Yeah.
5:38, we get a delay for maintenance. Now departs 6:32. 5:59, now departs 7:01, and a gate change.
Okay.
So was that when? This is, by the way, the 3rd maintenance delay.
Right.
When did we decide to leave? Because we checked into another flight. There was one later flight.
Right.
Which was the...
Right, we checked, and you see here the 719 was sold out. There was no way we're getting on that because everybody that was delayed...
was trying to make moves.
Right.
Everyone making their moves
flight,
at the airport.
8 o'clock...
Yeah.
Also had a maintenance delay, and it was scheduled to depart at 10:30.
Holy fuck.
So that was 4 flights, 4 different planes.
Yeah.
Someone to email me, they thought, like, you're an idiot because they go back and forth. No, these were 4 separate aircraft. It wasn't like, if it was one plane going back and forth, I'd get it.
Yeah.
4 separate planes.
4 different planes with maintenance issues, and all of these planes going to Pittsburgh?
All of them.
What the fuck? What is this really about?
I don't know. And if it was the same plane that they counted like 2 or 3 hours later,
yeah,
and they still let people go to the gate and check in, they're even more disgusting than I thought because they knew the plane never left to begin with. But I think they were different planes.
All right, someone from the airlines, you got to call up and give us the inside scoop. They just put everything in the maintenance issue category. Obviously, there's no way 4 different planes had maintenance issues. So what is this really about?
I asked the guy, "Are you having union it was so bad." And he's like, "No, I just deal with the flight that I'm dealing with."
Yeah.
And the reason we finally left and got a car was because the 3rd maintenance issue flight, the 2nd flight we were booked on, as they kept extending again, we're like, they're going to cancel this flight. So I'm like, let's just go because I'm going to literally get arrested in the airport for screaming.
Yeah.
And we get a car, we rent it. Kenny is so absurd. This is why Kenny's great because he checks everything. I rent a car. If there was a body strapped to the hood, I wouldn't notice it. I just go.
Yes.
Kenny, as we say, due diligence, checks and he caught that bubble.
I saw that.
On the front tire of the Avis rent-a-car. So.
What? And Avis should get a beating today.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You can't be renting cars with a bubble in your tire.
He probably should. It's not in good form. But Kenny wound up, before we even got back to the desk, we saw a guy who worked in the lot, and Kenny showed him what happened. He goes, "Oh, take another car. Just tell him that Gene said it was okay."
Oh, really?
So the guy literally just signed something for us, and then pointed at an upgrade car. He upgraded our car, and we drove. So they did the right thing.
They did, but
yeah.
But this someone's got to be checking their cars. You can't have this on the lot as a rental. That's crazy. Look at that picture.
You get a blowout on the highway 70 miles an hour. Forget it.
I can't see on this monitor.
Yeah. You are fucked. So
we wound up getting a car. And it was going to be like a 5.5 hour drive. And I'm like, I used to do this all the time early in my career. Let's just do it. It didn't feel right. It felt like we had 2 maintenance issues. The 3rd plane was late. We already knew the 4th one had maintenance issues. Let's just go.
Yeah.
And as we're driving, we're probably an hour into the flight. And Kenny said they canceled the flight. What was the reason for canceling this one?
Crew availability.
Crew availability.
Crew availability.
Yeah. So that was I actually cheered when I heard the flight was canceled because I knew we made the right. Because I'm like, should we leave? Should we stay? What do you do? It's always a nightmare when you have a plane issue. Do you drive? So 4 separate planes. They're just a terrible, terrible airline. And I felt like jinxed flying. I'm like, I don't trust flying on any of these planes.
Yeah.
It's too weird to have this many maintenance issues the same day.
But I don't believe it's maintenance issues. I would love to know what the real thing is and why they put it in the maintenance issue category.
Why would you lie about 4 flights, though?
Because it makes people not, question anything. Because you're like, oh, maintenance issues. Jesus, yeah, of course I don't want to be on a plane that might be broken.
But don't you think it's a cost issue? Like, let's say that they have all these flights that go to Pittsburgh. Let's say that they're 60% booked.
Yeah, they're trying to save money,
yeah,
so they keep pushing, hoping people are going to be.
They want full flights to Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
That's it.
I think that's what it's about.
Were other people losing their shit?
Yeah, some people were, because the first flight wasn't from Newark; it was coming in from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So. I mean, look, it could be that where they did that once on a morning flight. We were coming back from somewhere. There was like 8 people on the flight. I think Kenny said they're going to cancel this flight because there's only 8 or 12 people. Because when you check in, you can see if you want to switch seats.
Right.
And sure enough, they canceled the flight and pushed us to another one. But I don't know if that was what this was or not. But whatever it is, it's just they're terrible.
So last Thursday, you guys got to the airport around noon, a little after. And then what time did you leave the airport in the car? 6 o'clock? Well, it's confusing in a way. I will refer to this. 6:15, we left and took the monorail to get a rental car. On the road at 6:55. So almost 7 hours later, you're finally saying, fuck all this, we're driving to Pittsburgh. What a nightmare.
Yeah. But I haven't driven that distance in years. And I gave Kenny a brand, let me just drive, because I'm the one who's just, I'm not handling this well. And it was fine. The drive was fine.
5.5 hours.
Yeah, the car was great. So it was like almost relaxing in a way to drive, and just I didn't piss for 2 hours. I was so intent on beating that third plane there, like, because there's nothing worse than when you decide to drive and the plane gets there first. Like, you should have stayed. I sucked.
Yeah.
But so we just.
But no plane got there. Right?
Maybe one of the later ones did. I don't know.
The last flight out.
At what time was that one again? I'm looking at your sheet. This sheet is amazing.
9:25 flight departed on time.
Right, okay. So they got there maybe 10:45 or so.
Yeah, we got there at like, what time did we get there?
12:15.
Yeah, we said that we're just going to just be late and just, whatever, just relax and not stress and take a flight back. We were going to fly home. We were just getting a one-way rental.
It was an amazing hotel that we couldn't spend the day in.
Yeah, that's what was so frustrating, is this hotel they put us in was beautiful. And you go in, you didn't want to relax and do what you do and maybe go out, and it was so nice.
Yeah.
So we get there, we ordered some room service. And then after the gig was so great that I'm like, it was over. Michael Chase said, let's go out. He wanted to go out. He was going like, I think Jerome Bettis' brother has a place. And I'm like, it's only 10-something, man, or close to 11. I'm like, let's just drive. I'm like, why don't we just get out of here? I don't want to spend the night and then have more maintenance issues, because I just can't handle it. Mm-hmm. Even though they didn't. It turns out their flight left on time.
Wait, you guys left Pittsburgh at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Oh,
I drove.
God.
I told Kenny just sleep in the car. I could stay up all night.
Did he sleep?
No, a little bit he did, yeah.
I slept for like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fine. I mean,
sucks.
I'm not going to fall asleep.
You couldn't really enjoy Pittsburgh.
No, thanks to a horrendous airline. And if they just tell you that the plane's not coming,
then you can make some plans
with another airline.
Or you could have got in a car, at 1 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or 7 o'clock, 6:55. Sorry, I'm referring to the sheet again.
They have no regard for the fact that you have a life or a schedule. And I know it's a gigantic company. So when you're dealing with a gigantic company and they're dealing with 1 million customers a day or whatever it is, you can't expect, every little thing that happens to rattle the company. Yeah. Because, it's like, again, it's a dumb little flight, an hour. They got international flights. They got 1 million things to worry about. But that said, they're so careless and lousy with the way they deal with people.
United did tweet you back, say, watch the language.
No, they said that to someone else. Oh. They tweeted, they tweet you, follow, DM, because they wanted you to get it off social media. Yeah. They're like, DM and let us see what the problem is. Yeah. And I didn't, of course. For what? I'm going to follow United. Yeah. And somebody else retweeted. He said something with fuck in it, and they're like, "Hey, curb the language."
Curb the language.
Like, that's what you worry about as your 4 planes are falling apart. The language.
Yeah, your potential customers, they're all screaming "fuck" at the top of their lungs in front of one of your employees right now.
Curb the language. Maybe you need to curse. Maybe you need to tell your maintenance, fix the fucking plane. Yeah, exactly. Maybe some cursing would be good around there.
I don't think it was a maintenance issue. I just don't believe that.
Whatever it was,
customer service in general across the board, we've dealt with this over the years. It just sucks. It's a joke, customer service. There's a few companies that do it right, and the rest of them are horrendous at it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me take a couple phone calls here. Shane in New York. Go ahead, Shane.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Jim, I worked for United before the merger, before the 2010 merger. The new regulations from FAA, and if you look on USA.gov and on Department of Transportation websites, the moment they know that you're going to be canceled, their obligations either put you on another flight to get you to your destination as soon as possible, or to put you on another airline. The reason they don't put you on another airline, which is what they should have done, is because they lose that revenue seat. They're just cocksuckers who don't want to lose their money, even though they're making tons of it on top, hand over fist. Yeah. They should have put you on another airline.
Yeah, I think they should have too, because...
Mister?
Yes, sir.
We asked for another airline, but there was nothing nonstop from Newark going to Pittsburgh.
Right. What? So where would you have to go?
Out of Newark, at the entire airport, there was no other nonstop.
Not at that time, maybe. Maybe not at that time, but we're going to go to LaGuardia. You literally, if you go to LaGuardia or JFK for a flight, by the time you check in, you've wasted an hour and a half. You could have been that far into your drive.
Easily.
Because there was one guy in front of us who was an Indian guy. He was the incensed customer. I want a supervisor. And of course, he got nowhere. And he goes, he's trying to start try to get a coup d'etat started. Yeah. He's like, I guess I'm going to go to LaGuardia. And everyone's like, fine, it's 5 o'clock, dummy. Book a flight to LaGuardia, because you're not going to drive there in less than 2.5 hours in rush. You're not going from Newark to LaGuardia in anything, but it's rush hour through Manhattan, out to LaGuardia. It's going to be a nightmare.
So his statement was, I'm going to LaGuardia, and he just assumed everyone was going to march out?
Yeah, let's go. Adios, stupid.
During rush hour traffic in and around Manhattan? This guy's nuts.
Yeah, it would have been from New Jersey into Manhattan, or maybe you could have went around Manhattan, but there's just no good way to
There's
get
no
there.
easy way to do it.
Bridge and tunnel traffic.
Terrible.
Thank you, Shane. Let's go to Frank in the Bronx. Frank.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Frank.
Hello.
Yeah, the maintenance card is bullshit. It's what it is. It's either equipment didn't get there, they don't have the pilot. That's all bullshit. It gives them time to figure out how to solve the 100 or 150 people trying to get to where they got to go.
Because all right, go ahead, Frank.
Sorry, no, go ahead. It makes people feel better, or at least they don't feel as bad because, I'm not going to fly in that plane if it's not ready to fly. That's the way to get out of people fucking blowing up their phones and going bananas.
You know what? That's why I was interrupting you. I apologize. You said the exact same thing I was going to say, because you don't question as much if they say maintenance issues. But if they said, our pilot's late, then, everyone's going to be like, what the fuck? What do you mean the pilot's late? What the fuck is his problem? Why isn't he here?
I was so pissed one day. I swear to God, I thought I was going to get arrested. I was losing my marbles because they wouldn't get me on the next flight. Even though it was on time and ready to go, they said, I can't get you on that next flight. It was leaving an hour before my flight because mine was delayed 3 hours. They still wouldn't do it. I swear to God, I think the girl saw red, saw me. I was ready to lose it. She's like, okay, sir, just go. Just take this flight because I'm telling you, man, they could give a shit less about us.
They're the world's largest airline. We're looking online. They're our largest airline. They do 140 million people a year. So again, I understand that every little customer complaint, and the public does stink. These things happen on a plane, and I can understand that. And I didn't cry because it was a maintenance delay. It's like, hey, look, like the Rickles said, better down here than up there. You don't want to crash. But 4 straight different aircraft. I've never heard of that in the history of flying. That's never happened.
Yeah.
And I want to tell Hot Tub that. Let me tell you, you are a good man. Driving with these guys, always on their side, always making sure they're good. I mean, Kenny, you're a star. You're a star.
Why are you calling him Hot Tub?
He's not Hot Tub. He's Club Soda. Hot Tub's a different guy.
Yeah, Hot Tub is a different guy to work with, Dice.
I knew it was Club Soda. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I Club Soda with vodka right now.
I love it.
But Hot Tub's not an insult, sir.
I'm sorry, buddy. I still love you.
God, I love you, Frank.
But it really does not inspire confidence if that many planes all at the same time are not able to fly.
Yeah.
Where is Slavo?
Well, Slavo is down there in Miami having a good old time.
Yeah, he's back from his vacation.
While all hell was breaking loose at the airport with Jim Norton and Hot Tub Kenny.
Hot Tub.
They went clubbing with Woo Kids.
I saw the picture.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, let me go to Alex in Dallas. Alex, and then did you guys meet a pilot at the airport?
Yeah, we shook hands with him walking by.
Yeah, he's on the line as well. He might give us some insight. But first, Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, guys. Hey, so I'm in hotels 300 days a year, and I talk to a lot of drunk flight attendants that come in there and just get bombed while they're in between flights. And a lot of the time, from what I understand, it's pilots that run out of hours of service. So say there is a maintenance issue in Chicago, but the maintenance issue is going to take up the hours of service for the pilot. That pilot's going to cut out, and that plane has no one to fly it.
Well, then you wish that if knowing that, like when they see that happening, you wish that they would just give you some notice or handle it better. That that's the problem.
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't fuck.
I mean, you see those freight trains that are out just in the middle of the track.
Mister?
Hot Tub wants to say something to you.
More importantly, where are you the other 65 days a year?
Oh, I'm home, hopefully. I mean, if I get time off, I'm on the road 300 days a year. I drive a tour bus for bands.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. Any bands we know?
Jimmy may know. I mean, I like to do a lot of metal bands.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't know any of them.
All right. I mean, the point here is they fuck with your day.
And the pilot is calling. Oh, sorry. Go.
Yeah. Alex.
It's garbage. It's garbage trash. And like everyone else was saying, they're making boatloads off of your day. And the poor people at the desk, they get the brunt of it, and I feel so bad for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not their fault. We know, and you know it's not their fault, so you don't want to yell at them. But
yeah, and it's good as a bus driver, you're drinking with the flight attendant.
Yeah, that's good.
That's wonderful.
And the pilot, don't give your real name because you don't want to get in trouble with that.
Yeah, let's go to the pilot. Thank you, Alex. Let's go to, we're not using your real name just in case you want to give us some good shit today, sir. You're calling from California, and you met Hot Tub and Jimmy at the airport.
And he's got a firm handshake.
Yes, he does.
Firm hand. That's what you want from a pilot, right?
Yeah.
What do you got, sir?
Yes, hi. Yeah, this is Mondo. Yeah, that's funny because I was coming out of security, and as I'm walking by and I see all these people, and I see this big, tall guy, and I thought, God, that looks like Kenny. And then I see Jimmy. Oh, boy, these are my heroes.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I turn around, and then I'm kind of walking behind him. I feel almost like a stalker, and I say, Jim Norton. And nobody turns around and goes, Jim Norton. And he turns around with this surprised look on his face. And I say, hi, how you doing? And then I meet Kenny, and he says, hello, sir. Wow, you just made my day, Jimmy.
Well, thank you, sir.
And then I go about my day, which actually I had to fly somewhere else and back, and we were slightly delayed. But in any case, I didn't check your Twitter till the next day. But
why were you slightly delayed?
Our plane was late coming in from somewhere else.
Okay, no issues. So,
yeah,
you know the story. As a pilot, how do they have 4 maintenance issues on 4 different planes?
Yeah.
Well,
why is this guy laughing so much? I don't know.
I don't mean to laugh so much, but I went to bed, got a good night's sleep. I got up the next morning. I checked your Twitter, and I laughed about that all day because right in the middle of your whole meltdown, I meet you. And this guy comes up with his goofy grin and says, hey, how you doing?
That was okay. It was actually nice to see it. It was nice. You were a delightful man, so I didn't mind it.
He enjoys a good laugh, this guy.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That would have made me laugh, too, if I said hi to someone and then realized they were having the worst day of their life.
Anyways, one thing actually I do when I'm working is, and people can do is when you look at the app and see where the plane's, what your flight's doing, is you got to go back and look at the flight. Where is this flight coming from? And then where's that flight coming from? And you can get an idea what's going on with the airplane at least. You have no idea what's going on with the crew. But if that plane is somewhere else and it's X number of hours late, then you got a good idea when the plane's coming in.
Excuse me, Captain?
Yes, sir.
I do that. That's how I knew that our original plane was coming from Chicago.
Yeah, Kenny checks that.
Okay.
We're
Very
frequent
good, very
flyers.
Kenny knows all the inside scoop.
Is it possible to have 4 maintenance issues on 4 separate planes to the same destination?
Yes, it is. And what happened is actually the airlines you were scheduled to fly on were actually 2 and maybe 3 separate airlines. They were regional airlines that are subcontracted by United. So you actually had the first one was a different, regional airline A, and then another one. So they have their own issues because they're operating as separate little airlines to operate these flights. And so you just, kind of had the perfect storm, so to speak, on, what's going on. But when they say like maintenance and refueling and all that stuff like that, that's usually a maintenance thing. A lot of times we have no idea how long it's going to take. And they try to fix it. If they can't fix it, they try something else. If that doesn't work, then if they can defer it, meaning they can say, we'll fix it later, then they do some paperwork and on you go. So it really depends on what the issue is with it. When they say operational difficulties, that seems to usually be a crew issue, and that's a lot of times the crew is coming in from somewhere else. So that crew coming in from Chicago, it could have just been the plane coming in.
Excuse me, Captain?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are the regulations for your flight rest? Like how many hours?
Well, it really changed a lot after that Colgan airline crash up in New York. But now it's based on when you start your day and when you finish. But it's generally up to 15 or 16 hours. But if you fly all night, then it can be down to like 12 hours is your total day length. And it also depends on how many flights you fly. So it really varies.
Right, because our second flight was canceled because of crew availability because I guess their day was too long.
Right.
Yeah, so that could be a crew started like 5 that morning, and because of those delays, they could have flown the original flight, but once it delayed, then they canceled that, and in that case, they have crews available, sometimes standing by at the airport to take those flights. But if they use them all up and they don't have anybody available, they'll take them off another flight, and that'll sometimes happen. Is they'll take a crew, from a different flight, and then delay that one. So when things happen like this, it could be a real mess. So with the maintenance stuff, when they say 20 minutes and 20 minutes and 20 minutes, they don't want to say it's an hour and a half later, which may end up being the case, because then people are wandering around the airport, and then all of a sudden it's fixed, we're good to go, and nobody's there to get on the airplane.
Right, but they
also don't want to lose that customer, because you say it's an hour and a half delay, then the first thing we all do is run to another airline and see if we could get out of there earlier too.
Yeah, but that's the case. They just don't know, and we're, I'll sit up in the cockpit, and we have no idea until they go, okay, here you go, here's your logbook, and everything's signed off, and you're ready to go, and it's also a matter of where you're going, and the weather situation, and all that stuff like that. If it's a place that you can actually operate that plane in, but a lot of times they're just minor little things that they can be fixed, but sometimes it's something bigger that they need the part, and the part's coming in from somewhere else. And
all right, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks very much, man.
Well, I did want to ask you one last thing. Would you ever let a busty model fly the plane?
A what?
A model, a girl.
A busty model. You laugh, but there's a couple pilots that are in deep trouble. Let's see. They fired the pilots.
Yeah.
They've been fired after they let an Argentinian model fly their passenger plane during takeoff.
During takeoff?
Well, look at those tits. Well, I mean,
but I mean, not even
lost their minds.
Not even just. I can see if you're at cruise altitude, but at takeoff to allow this big-titted idiot to fly your plane.
Must be the pilot equivalent of that perv switch you're talking about.
Yeah,
that is the perv switch, man. You just lose your fucking mind.
It's like, okay, now pull up. Pull up.
Wait, the first picture of her, she's not as busty, and then she opens up her cleavage more, it looks like. Wow.
There it is.
And she's making the duck lips. It looks like she's taking a selfie with the pilots.
Yeah.
During the flight, or maybe just before.
Yeah.
What does the article say?
Just says that whatever her name is, Vicky Politakis or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it is filmed helping fly the plane on a domestic flight as it left. By allowing her into the cabin, the pilots broke the international aviation rules by letting unauthorized people sit in the cockpit. And at the time, the pilots named by the Mirror as Patricio, whatever, who cares what their names are. The video shows the model shouting, "I'm going to accelerate and we'll take off." Oh, please, can we watch this?
I appear to think it's a great laugh. Where am I? Over here, right?
Conservative lawmakers?
Las señales, como la azafata. Y esto para mostrarle bien.
They're just showing the cockpit. She's in the cockpit, but you can't see her.
You can't see. Yeah, but she's in there.
She's filming the console.
Why would you let her film?
Because you're two assholes.
You're two idiots.
The pilots are smiling. Having a good
Oh, they're loving this.
Yeah. And they're being towed out, it looks like.
Yeah. They're explaining their instruments to her.
All right, well, they're just showing her the instruments.
Yeah.
Is this the end of the video?
I think it's just before they start their...
So basically just yapping. But they're still kind of just being towed.
Yeah. Is that all it was, you think?
Is that the whole thing?
You think they got her out of there when it was time to actually take off? Right?
If they're just getting towed, they're just pushing her out on the ground. I mean, we can't have the door open in the U.S. when they push back. But if they're just getting towed around, then...
I think they were getting towed probably out of the...
Thank you, Mondo.
Thank you, buddy. They're getting towed probably out of that area into the... they get somebody to get back the plane out.
Yeah, getting ready to take off.
But in that video, she's standing. In the photos, it looks like she's seated with the pilots.
Well, that's
probably just a picture.
That's the selfie before they took off, obviously.
Okay, so they didn't let her actually hold the plane. I feel better about that.
They're just kind of taxiing, getting ready to take off, really.
They're big tits all over the cockpit.
Giant tits.
Big fucking giant tits.
This guy they lost their minds. You don't blame them, do you?
No.
It's all duck-lipped, and these guys are like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
See. And you see the one pilot, you know, because it's a selfie, you can see he's staring at her tits through her camera.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. There's just more of them just smiling. The video shows the model shouting, "I'm going to accelerate and we'll take off," reports the Mirror. Talk about plain stupid. All right, there was the flight. As it left Buenos Aires for the city of Rosario, blah, blah, blah. It's on the Daily News website. We'll put it on our Facebook page. Pilot. Yeah, go back to the headline. Pilot sacked after letting busty model fly they're saying fly their plane. Fly their plane.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see any video of that, so maybe it's just that they got it wrong.
But I guess you know, when you're starting your procedures, you got to get the busty model out of the cockpit. I think that's what the problem is here. I don't think she was actually, you know, in there when they were taking off. Technically, they were taking off because they were starting to taxi or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what that is, but still. After letting busty model fly their plane during takeoff. Well, get to the details. What do you mean fly the plane? I still don't understand.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right. Skip the survey. Why would you want to take a survey? You just want to look at this chick's tits.
I was going to take a survey. I was interested in helping them.
Meanwhile, the pilots joke with her that she owns a bit of the plane because she is a taxpayer and so is entitled to fly it.
Well, you can't argue with that logic.
During the video, she thanked the pilots for the wonderful service she had received and talks about the scary but exciting experience she had.
So maybe she wasn't, but they're not showing the videos. Is just them taxiing.
Yeah.
There's nothing scary about taxiing. She must have done something during the takeoff.
Well, the company says they are two irresponsible people who put at risk the security of people, and we will request justice to investigate. As the 190 article, The Penal Code, expresses. It is not an isolated matter, but public. That's why we will act firmly, because nothing justifies what happened, and it will have to be analyzed whether they committed a crime. Wow. God, dopes.
Yeah. She's pretty, though.
She's gorgeous.
She's going to get fired for letting someone in the cockpit. It might as well be her.
Yeah, it's kind of worth.
Only she would get the video out there and the selfie pic. So maybe they should have told her, why don't you relax with the fucking camera? We'll let you, hang in here. So... And then you got the Paris Hilton flight thing.
I haven't seen that video.
Travis, the Paris Hilton thing. I did not see it either. The Paris Hilton, what is it?
It's an Egyptian prank TV show.
And what they set her up, obviously.
Yeah, they asked her if she wanted to take a sightseeing flight, and then they acted like the plane was crashing. You should just watch the video because she's completely convinced that she's going to die.
Paris Hilton thinks she's going to die in morbid plane prank. We'll put this on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah, we'll put up that link, but it keeps getting taken down. So
why do they keep taking it down?
Because whoever owns the copyright wants to have it up.
Oh my god!
Right.
Oh my god! Oh.
Excuse me! Is the toilet overflowing?
They told her it was a tour of an aerial view of Egypt. They told her she was going on some little sightseeing thing.
Yeah.
And she's definitely not in on this?
I don't know.
100% is not.
Okay.
Just wait until you watch.
Like rotten eggs.
Oh my god.
Wait, she says rotten.
Rotten.
Like Roland.
Exactly.
Do more activities like that.
All right, they're just sitting there. Nothing's happening.
So bad.
All right. They're flying.
This isn't...
Hey! What the fuck? What's happening? Is this normal? It always does this?
Wow, it's plummeting. They're all actors.
They're good, too.
And one of the guys jumps out of the plane. I can see them starting to jump around.
He opened up the big back. And then jumping out of parachute.
And that's...
No,
that
keep
it?
going.
Okay.
Oh, that was like a tag for the commercial. It's a show. All right, what is this? We're watching this like little teaser coming back in there.
We're back to the cruise.
And you got guys jumping out of the plane.
I don't know if I believe this.
You've met her. She can't act like this.
She's just being scared.
No, I believe it.
I don't know if I believe this, or if it's bullshit. And then they land, of course. I don't know if I buy that.
I don't know, man.
Because she's known for, making fun of herself, right?
No, but they may have done it just to get a video out there.
Is that guy okay?
Yes.
What do you mean? He's supposed to get out of the plane.
I'm so sorry. I'm a bad guy. I'm a naughty. I'm Egyptian actor. This is prank show. Paris Hilton. This is
She does look pretty fucking frightened there.
She looks horrified.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's shit.
You think it's shit?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's shit.
Because why isn't? I don't know. I don't believe it.
Jimmy, at any point did you think you were on an Egyptian prank show?
No.
No.
But I think they told her before. I think she's a part of it.
Yeah.
I think she's a part of it, Travis. That's what I'm going with.
That's fine.
We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. There's not enough footage. You know what I mean? There's a lot of cuts and a lot of edits and a lot of making it all smooth and nice. Basically telling her, look, we need 30 seconds to a minute of you just completely freaking out. And then we'll edit around that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get your nuts suit off if you convince someone that they were going to die in a plane crash.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
It's a different country, but still.
Yeah.
But don't you think she had to sign to give permission? And if they really,
I know that's going viral. Everyone's buying into it. So I'm going to be the guy that says it's fake. Jimmy, you're going to be the guy that says it's fake.
I've already said I think it's fake.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's bullshit.
But
you think it's complete bullshit?
Yes, I do.
But what Travis was saying is right. She cannot act, and she looks absolutely terrified in that one shot.
Yeah. All right. We should break. We got a very, very busy show today. We haven't even talked about David's sweat or anything yet. We got a very busy show. The gay marriage thing is huge. Yeah. People are happy. People are pissed. They're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Most people, I think, are fucking happy, don't you think?
No. Well, good. Some are, some aren't.
What do you think the percentage is in the country?
50-50.
You think it's 50-50?
Maybe more people angry than happy, yeah.
Because we live in an area where I think it's way more people that are happy than sad, right? The New York area. But you forget there's other pockets around the country that probably see it very differently than they do up here in New York.
Yeah, the entire middle of the country.
Yeah, true. Good point.
And the west side of the country.
Yeah.
They don't, in California, they voted against it, so.
Yeah. So.
We have, I don't know why they scheduled Mark Norman at 7:45 and then Robbie Lawler at 8. They should have Mark come in earlier.
Yeah, well, we got Mark Norman coming in next. We got Robbie Lawler, who is here. We'll talk to him next. Then we got Adam Nimoy coming in a little later. And then we got, for Shark Week, we got Paul Gelder. A lot of shark attacks this summer. Yeah, so we'll talk to him and calm everyone the fuck down. Oh yeah, and the ISIS flag spotted at gay pride parade, which turns out to be a dildo flag or something.
Yeah.
And now CNN's denying they actually did the story, or the reporter is, or something like that.
They had the story on their website for all day and then pulled it down.
Yeah, and then the reporter's sort of trying to backpedal and deny that.
There's no way.
So. We got lots to do. Why don't we take a break and we'll continue the festivities. Stay there. Mark Norman in studio. We should have had you in a little earlier than this, Mark. I apologize ahead of time.
Oh, no sweat. Just happy to be here.
Oh, good. I'd like to hear that. We got a busy show. We got a lot of guests today.
All right.
We got an expert on sharks for Shark Week.
Ooh.
We're going to do a little later. You know anything about sharks?
I know they like to bite people, but they don't actually like to eat the flesh.
No, because we don't taste good to them.
No.
They think we taste good, then they take a nice big chunk out of us, and then they, in most cases, move on.
Unlike a dog who, once they have human flesh, they can't have anything else.
Is that true?
That's true. They have to put a dog down if he eats people.
Because then he refuses his dog food?
Yeah, he won't touch the kibble.
I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
My dad used to help my old neighbor. He was like an old guy. So my dad would take him on walks and stuff. And one day, my dad couldn't get in the apartment, and he kept pushing the door, and there was something blocking it. It was the guy's body, because he had died. Stopped feeding his dogs. The dogs had eaten him.
Wow.
So they had to put the dogs down, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Quite a thing to walk in on.
Yeah, no kidding.
I didn't know that we were so delicious.
Oh, yeah.
We got Robbie Lawler. We're going back to that dog thing.
All right. It's a hell of a tale.
Because every once in a while a story comes out where this dog that you took care of, for its entire life ends up eating the old lady or something.
Yeah, exactly.
We had one of those in Huntington where I'm from. I got to dig up the old story. If the Stangles could dig that up, it's an amazing story where this cute little dog in the end eats the owner. Because the owner dies and then there's no food around.
Exactly.
So then they start eating the owner. We got Robbie Lawler entering the studio. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, man.
How's it going? Nice to meet you.
Hi, Mark.
Mark Norman, very funny guy. Opie, and that's, of course, Jim Norton.
Yeah, Robbie is the UFC welterweight champion.
He sure is.
July 11th. What are you filming? Are you doing a documentary?
Yeah, it's like just filming me walking around and eating and drinking.
Have you got any good footage?
Last night we did. It's for a show embedded. It's leading up to the fight.
Oh, it's a show embedded. Okay.
Sorry, I was going to ask. What was the good footage you got last night?
Can't really talk about it.
Oh,
ladies. There's a tease. Ladies, you think it's ladies, Mark?
Oh yeah. Well, when this guy walked in, I something moved for me.
Yeah, but you can't be comfortable in front of the cameras following you around.
Yeah, I just kind of starting to get used to it a little bit, but I'm pretty laid back guy.
How annoying is that before a fight where you got to watch everything you're doing because you know they're going to be editing it and trying to really make you look foolish before the fight?
No, they're not trying to make me look foolish. They're kind of trying to promote the fight, let everyone know what I'm doing backstage.
Oh, it's one of those friendly things, like where it's like to help it look like it's going to be a good fight, not like a reality show.
Yeah, keep the fans interested. And,
sure. And remember, 90% of the stuff will never be used.
Yeah.
90% of this you just throw on the fucking floor.
Yeah, we get excited when people film us. We're like, this is going to be great. And then, we find out we're in a snippet. They'll cut right to your answer and past our faces.
All right.
Really stinks.
We got to say something crazy or do something crazy, and then we'll be part of this.
Keep up that rebel flag. Joking. Cut
it. So you're fighting Rory McDonald. Is Josie Aldo fighting? Because he was hurt.
Yeah, I don't know really too much about that. They said he had a rib injury. One of his training partners must have kicked him or did something, but looks like the fight's on, and if he can't fight, then Chad Mendez is going to jump in for an interim title. So they're keeping Conor on the fight card no matter what, but I think Jose's ready to go.
Yeah, UFC is really interesting. They have a lot of guys get hurt before, which I guess is common when you have a lot of big fights, but it seems like there's a lot of guys that are dropping out recently due to injury.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who they train real hard. There's a lot of different aspects. Sometimes you get hit with a elbows. Most of the time it's accidents. You get hit with a heel, spinning hook kick or something. It's pretty rough on your body. The wrestling's hard. Everything's pretty hard, and if you're training hard, trying to get ready for a fight, you're training with really good training partners to get you better, so it can get rough.
They don't mess around, and they split you open, and you're like, oh man, now we got to wait for that to heal. And
exactly, it's a rough sport.
Jimmy's right.
So
it seems to happen a lot.
Yeah, you have to have good training partners, and you have to have good luck, because most of the time it's accidents.
Mm-hmm. Weren't you not supposed to be, like, you were in UFC, then you left UFC, you fought for these other companies, and then you came back, and it's like people were very shocked that when you came back, they thought it was like this really amazing comeback story when you showed back up at UFC.
Yeah, I was fighting at 185 outside the UFC, but the whole time I knew if I ever came back to the UFC, I was going to go down to 170. So I was kind of watching all those guys. They weren't paying attention to me. I wasn't doing too well in the other organizations, and ended up moving down to American Top Team when I came back to the UFC. And
wait, not doing well? You mean you were losing?
Yeah, I was losing, but I was beating people up. Sometimes you beat people up and you still lose the fight. But yeah.
How are you guys able to lose 15 pounds like that? Because you're in good shape to begin with. So where the fuck does the 15 pounds come from? Because you're in great shape at 185, and then you decide to fight at 170. I don't understand how you could lose that weight.
It just comes down to the week of. You just have to eat a little cleaner and drink a little less water here and there.
No salt.
Yeah, just kind of slowly get your weight down so that you can make like a 4-pound cut the day of the fights, or the day of the weigh-in.
So are you thinking you're finished when you start losing fights, especially when you go to a new organization and you're not winning?
No, it just always came down to just trying to figure it out. All right, why am I not performing to the best of my ability? Why am I not doing the things that I do in practice? And I just had to keep believing in myself and clean everything up and just try to figure it out.
I have no confidence. Like, literally, if I would have immediately quit. If I lost one fight, I would have immediately just given up and had no faith in myself. I should have more faith in myself.
Yeah, it's all about having faith.
I know. I think that's what this whole show should be about, is it goes past you and onto me, building a little self-esteem for myself.
The real story here is Jim Norton.
The real story is how Jim was inspired to feel good about himself. I'm always amazed at how people start like getting their ass kicked and they still like believe that they can. That's to me the most amazing part, is like to get beaten up and then go, you know what, the next fight, no, I'm gonna win.
Yeah, it's just all the hard work finally paying off. It's just grinding away and trying to get the best out of my abilities, and that's what I've tried to do over the last 15 years of my career. Just try to get better every day and try to fight at the best of my abilities.
When did you know you wanted to be a fighter?
Well, I started doing martial arts when I was 8, so it was like, and I asked my dad, hey, can I do martial arts? Can I do martial arts? I always loved sports, always liked fighting, always liked boxing, and then I moved to Iowa, wrestling. So I started wrestling because that's like a fight. It's a one-on-one competition.
Why Iowa?
My dad wanted to go to chiropractic school, which is Palmer's up there, so we moved from California to Iowa.
How irritated were you when you got that news?
Now I understand why you want to be a fighter. Right. Wow, you went from California to Iowa. That's a big adjustment. What part of California?
I was in San Diego.
San Diego to Iowa.
Beaches to
And how old were you?
corn.
I was 10.
You were 10. Were you bummed out? Do you remember being bummed out at the time? Or?
No, I wasn't one of those kind of kids. I was like, all right, this is where we're going.
New opportunity.
Just this is what it is. So you just go and live and figure it out.
10 seems to be a rough age to move. You're just really starting to figure out, friends and this and that. But yeah, he was fine with it. What am I? I'm trying to make something out of it. He's like, whatever, we move.
Yeah, he was fine with it.
Move on to the next question. Who gives a fuck? It's Iowa.
Did you start fighting because you were like, were they bothering you because you were a new kid? Or were you just bored?
No, I fought way before I was a new kid. No, I just like competing. I love martial arts movies. I loved the competition, and I had an older brother, so fighting was a part of like my neighborhood. So I just...
Every fighter has, it seems like, one guy. Was your older brother the one that would did you have to wrestle around with him and fight him? Because every fighter, it seems, has one person that they fought a lot growing up.
Yeah, I fought him a lot. He's a lot older than me, and we just competed a lot. Sports, basketball, football, just played sports all the time.
But Jimmy's question, did you guys get along, or was it friendly fighting, or was
no,
it like...
it was rough. Like, I mean, when you're fighting someone who's 6 years older than you if you're going to fight, you got to go hard.
Yeah. So your brother's 6 years older, he's kind of picking on you, and you're fighting him. And how old were you when you finally beat him?
By the time we were old enough to like really get rough, it was more like wrestling matches, and it was like 16 where I like reversed him, put his head in the snow, and was shoveling snow in his face. But that
was the turning point.
Yeah. Do you like him now?
Yeah.
But you didn't then?
No, we're just competitive, and I'm not taking shit.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
No, because
Rogan
Joe pointed that out. He said, like, every fighter, it seems like there's one guy that they fought a lot. Maybe because I had a kid sister, maybe that's why I'm not a fighter. I never had any reason to. I always just kind of walked away. I almost had a fight last night. I'm drunk. This is true. I forgot.
Did you say I'm drunk?
No. A drunk Mexican guy.
It sounded like I'm drunk. Yeah, good.
No, he's a Spanish guy, and he was probably 5'3". And I was coming out of this apartment, and he he was walking ahead of me, and you ever see somebody so drunk that, like, he stopped, and then he just made a left and leaned against the wall, and then he turned around, and he saw me and goes, "Arr!" And he was drooling. He was like 5'3". He wasn't a big guy. But I'm like, what? And he didn't put his fists up, like, in a minute. It wasn't threatening. It was like, he was like a drunk, like a total drunk. And so I just walked around him. He's like, "Ah!" And I just ran to the end of the block. I'm like, let me get away from this fucking guy.
Was he trying to start something with you?
He was, but he was too drunk. He was like literally.
But why was he start? I don't get it.
He was in a blackout. He had no idea where he was. He had no idea.
So you
where.
did nothing to him?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, he's too drunk to fight.
Gotcha.
So then he comes up, and I round the corner. I'm like, all right, he's probably standing there vomiting. 30 seconds later, he rounds the corner. Like, he still wants to go. So like, he keeps walking up to me. And I'm actually stopping him by putting my hands. He's putting his fists up, like, put up your dukes, like it's 1905. And I'm touching his fists. I'm going, no, no. I'm scolding him. Like, I'm trying to tell him, like, what is your problem? But he doesn't speak any, and he's like gritting his teeth, but I know he's not going to throw a punch. He's just, it was just so fucking awful. Like,
is there a party that's like, I could win this? Why not take it?
I'm not a fighter at all. I don't like to fight, but I knew that this is one of those cases where you know that if you punch the guy in the jaw, he's going to fall. And it's like, you don't want to, for what?
You could have got your first win under your belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I could have. But it's just like it wouldn't have felt right because I knew he was so fucked up and he was so.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a problem with Robbie Lawler's camera guy. You didn't like that story?
Yeah, you're missing a good story.
That was a great story for his documentary. You're filming this stupid button.
I know.
Over here.
We have.
You went for B-roll during your great story.
I know. We have the champion, and then we have someone becoming a fighter. How do you miss this human interest story? I avoided the beating of the 5'3" drunk man.
Did you like that story, Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It was all right. It was
not a great story.
Would you have knocked that guy out back in the day?
No way.
So what do you? Like, yeah, but it's like
you would get nothing out of it.
You would get nothing out of it, and walking away because he kept following me. I'm like, I'm not going to let this guy hit me in the back of the head. I wasn't going to do that.
He was doing the put him up.
But he would put his because I know he thought that I was scared of him because I ran up the block. But it was like I'm not. That was not the issue. It was just it got to a point where I got very angry. And I got some guy who spoke Spanish. And I'm like, tell this fucking guy that I'm going to fucking punch him in the face. Like, it was like, it wasn't, but it was.
Where'd you go to find a guy that speaks Spanish?
He was in the street. Like, once I got to the boulevard.
You're like, that guy's got to speak Spanish.
It was in Queens.
Gotcha.
And then the guy started talking to him in Spanish. He was like, it was like, there was no, and then I saw him at the top of the train platform where I thought it was going, but he didn't, he just put his hand out to some woman for money, like, you know.
I love that you were so mad you had to find someone that spoke Spanish.
Because it was like, you know, I'm avoiding a fight with a guy that I know I could beat up, and it's very rare that you know that you can beat somebody up. And
yeah.
It is a good feeling, though, isn't it?
But you're promoting your fight with Rory, and I'm sorry, I'm promoting my almost fight with a short alcoholic.
Well, it's the same thing.
But when combat is going to happen, it's almost like I don't want to get my ass kicked, but when you know that there's somebody you're going to, it's like, it just would have felt like you're hitting a fucking invalid.
Yeah.
And like, how do you avoid that with dignity?
How was your wrestling?
Not good.
In Iowa, I mean. I mean, how do you compare to everyone else? That is the, isn't that the state to wrestle in?
It's one of the really
right
good
up there.
states. Yeah, it was just all about just getting better every day and learning as much as possible and coming back. Those workouts are hard and just kept grinding away, just like I've done my whole life as far as training. Just keep learning. I always knew I had the ability, but it's all about learning moves and figuring out stuff and actually being in there. The more you're in there, the more you learn.
Are there any sports you suck at?
Golf.
Not
very good at golf.
I don't even know if that's a sport, to be honest with you.
That makes you tougher.
It's a game.
Well,
more of a game than
it's like an activity.
Right.
It's a sport. We'll just go.
So will you pursue something you stink at, or will you just try it once and go never?
It all depends on. No, I won't do that. It's how much time am I willing to put in this to be better. It's like, do I want to get lessons? Do I want to buy these golf clubs? Do I want to put in the effort? And right now, I don't have the time to.
You like golf?
Do that.
It's obvious you like the sport. You like it, though. You're just not that good at it.
No, I play tennis.
You need flexibility, though. Well, you need flexibility in fighting. What am I talking about? But I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe different flexibility.
You ever been to a bar and the guy starts shit because he doesn't recognize you? That must feel pretty good.
No,
'Cause you know you
I'm
got 'em.
always hanging out in the back, relaxing. No one's really messing with the guy,
That's
just
the thing.
chilling.
Guys who can fight never start shit.
No.
It's always the scared little guy.
Well, exactly. A case in point last night, and then myself, being the professional, I don't want to hurt the guy, so I walk away.
The camera's
very
back.
important.
The camera's back on Jimmy. You want him to retell the story for this?
But you want me to act like I'll say that I punched him or whatever?
Yeah. You need something?
I kept touching it. I've never touched another man's fist before. It was so weird. He had his fists up, and I was just touching them.
And going, no.
No. I was literally saying, no. And he looked confused, and he would grit his teeth to try to look scary, but it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, God.
Yikes.
Yeah, we got one of many of your fans on the line here. Jay wants to say hi. Jay in Pennsylvania, go ahead. We got Robbie Lawler in studio.
Guys, how you doing?
Hey.
Just a quick question, Robbie. I was a huge TJ Penn fan, and I feel like you guys came up at the same time, like early 2000s, and he just completely fell off. And couldn't adapt and couldn't keep up with the pace. And someone like yourself, who you're at your peak at this time, where he's completely fallen off. I just kind of compliments to you, and how how do you compare that? What makes you able to do that for 14 years, hitting your peak?
I think it just comes down to I think he's a little older than me, and different styles. He was at the top of his game too. I was never at the top of my game. I think when you get at the top of your game as quick as he got there, he maybe didn't figure he had to work on too many things. But I was never up there, so I was always grinding away trying to get better. And he's older than me, and competitions change. You got to change with the times and continue to evolve.
Yeah, he's 36, I think. 36, 37.
We've had George St. Pierre step down because
he was amazing too.
Yeah, but I think it was he was having memory loss, and he was having some real. And I think that's the first of you guys that have seen that has had that kind of it's almost like a boxer problem.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has different issues, but I don't have those issues. I mean, I'm trying not to get punched, but
you guys don't take as many punches as the boxers.
Yeah, but a lot of those boxers, they were amateurs, where they had 300 amateur fights, and that doesn't count how many fights they had in the gym, and it's a lot of fighting. So
yeah.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thanks.
What was your worst injury all these years?
Dislocated my hip one time, and I had torn meniscus in my knee, but not too bad. Those were a long time ago. So
how did you hurt your hip? That's like a falling down the stairs injury.
Yeah, I threw a knee, and I just felt like a clunk. I was like, oh, what was that? And then I threw another one, just kind of felt another clunk, and then I tried to take a step, and it was like, ooh,
that's what I should have done last night, throwing a knee.
Yeah.
I should have thrown a knee right in his little drunk chest. I did regret it when I was going home. Like that could have felt really good. But I probably would have broke my hand. I don't know how to throw a punch properly. Or God forbid he's one of those drunks that can take a punch and then just kept looking at me. I would have been too humiliated.
Just kept moving forward.
Yeah.
Just kept pounding him.
I'm so happy I have a fight story.
I'd love to have a fight story.
I totally forgot about that this morning.
In front of Robbie Lawler.
Yeah. The guys try to tell you their fucking war stories when you talk to them. If you have a fight and then well, yeah, I had this thing, and it's just shit.
Sometimes you get that, or it's like, hey, I know so and so who fights, and it's like, okay, I don't know everyone in the world who ever fought or is fighting MMA, so it's just kind of like it gets weird sometimes. People telling their stories.
You ever cry after you lost?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a competitor. I want to win, and even growing up, playing sports, baseball, football, it was always on me. I always took it to heart because I want to win. That's the reason you play sports. Some people play for fun. I've always played to win, and it's not. There's a reason they keep score.
Right.
Finally, something we have in common. Crying.
So you don't like that whole that no keep score and everybody wins mentality that we're going into?
No, not really. I mean, there's a reason. I want to win. I want to succeed, and there's.
Yeah.
Is that how it is in school, or do you get A's and B's and C's and there's grading. There's always grading. Just why not keep it in sports? Why not?
Schools are just in the A's and the B's as
they
well.
Really?
Yeah,
really.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
They sort of everyone pretty much passes in some of these school systems. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in sports where they don't keep score, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because the parents don't want to see their kid crying. That's all it is. They don't want to see their kid not being good at something.
But now that I have kids, you learn that it's a minority that are able to control all this and make these rules. Because then you look at the other parents and they're like, what the fuck? What do you mean we're not keeping score? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. What's the reason to succeed? What's the reason to excel?
Right. And you always learn it was one kid that couldn't handle it, and the parents have to, coddle that kid, and then they speak to the organization. They got to change the rules.
Find something else.
That's what we had to do. You learn growing up that you sucked at a lot of things, and then you moved on to something that hopefully you were good at.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
And I was always because I grew up with a brother, so like he would try to run up the score on me. Stop it if you can't stop it. I mean, but people's feelings get hurt and whatever.
Well, now they get in trouble for that too, running up the score. And
Yeah.
and in professional sports, you would think the professional athletes could handle that.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you get a story.
Well, they
where
grew up in the time now where those rules were coming into effect, and
it's ridiculous, especially in professional
they didn't play
sports.
on the playground as much.
Yeah.
But at least you know, as a professional athlete, like when you're really running up the score, there are times where the other team will do something, like the pitcher will throw it one. Yeah, they'll hurt you for it physically. At least there's some kind of a penalty.
That was a different era. That was like 80s, 90s. Charles Barkley. That stuff doesn't happen anymore. The sports are a little softer.
Barkley rules.
Yeah.
You like Barkley?
Yeah.
He is outspoken too. I love this guy. He's untouchable. He doesn't give a fuck.
And they won't.
He's a rarity out there on TV.
Yeah, he's almost unfireable. Like, he's one of those guys that can kind of say whatever he wants, and he's almost to the point where he would have to say something really horrible to get canned.
Yes. Who were some of the guys you looked up to growing up, as far as athletes go?
Athletes, I always looked at guys who, like Charles Barkley, Lawrence Taylor, Marshall Falk, guys like who excel, who kick butt in their sports.
All right, well, the fight is July the 11th. It's in Vegas. It's a fight I wish I could go to, but of course, this is like the 1 gig a year I can't cancel. And it's Aldo McGregor is the main event if Aldo can fight, and if not, it'll be Mendes McGregor. McGregor's a weird guy. Like, he's a lot of people really hate him. I don't know if I like him or hate him. He's like a real shit-talking Irish fighter.
They hate him because he shit-talks?
A lot.
That goes back to what we're talking about. I love the shit-talkers.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. I think most guys have a problem with how quick he rose, but like there's a reason why he rose to where he is today. He's freaking talking a big game and backing it up by beating people's asses.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sportsmanship is one thing. I do respect that, but these guys, you truly don't like sometimes you just don't like your opponent.
Yeah.
Period. And you should be able to shit talk and say some stuff.
Everyone's different. Like, it wouldn't be freaking
right.
If everyone was the same, that'd be fucking boring.
Yeah, I kind of like someone who talks shit and wins, but this guy just annoys me a little bit. So I hope Aldo just fucking kicks him right in the sternum.
There you go.
and Robbie is fighting Rory McDonald, who's a great Canadian fighter. You fought him already.
Yeah, I did fight him.
And you beat him.
Yeah, I beat him.
So hopefully you'll beat him again.
That's the plan.
One more call?
Yeah, this guy definitely. Bill in Oklahoma.
Hey, I'm a huge fan of Robbie Lawler. He lost the fight, and I believe it was strike force to Nick Diaz, and I was wondering if he would really like another shot at Nick. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't really worry too much about that. I learned a lot from that fight. If the UFC wants to put that together, then they put it together, but I'm not really calling anyone out. I'm not backing down from anybody. So whatever the UFC decides, I'll be ready to fight anybody.
That's awesome.
I really loved your fights with Hendricks, man. I was heartbroken when he lost that first one. I loved the improvements you made. You came back and took him in that second fight. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. It's just all about trying to get better every day and try to learn from your mistakes and rise to the occasion.
Do you wear the belt around the house?
No.
Come on, not even the first day you got it?
No.
What do you do with it when you get it? Like, Dana puts it on you, and then what?
And then you just, like what I did, I just put it in a bag and, put it away.
That's it?
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't walk around, nude with the belt on?
Yeah, I think I would have to.
I would have to do a nude walk around with the belt at the very least before I put it in a bag somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, for at least one picture, one awful Instagram picture. Just for when you leave UFC, you can just fucking send that out. The belt with my dick hanging under it. All right, well, it's July 11th, and good luck, man. It's I don't even know who else is on the card again. I just know your fight, and I know Aldo McGregor. And July 11th, and you can get it on pay-per-view, or if you, I'm guessing it's going to be sold out?
Yeah, it's already sold out.
It is sold out, okay.
That's great, yeah. UFC 189 Saturday, July 11th in Vegas. Pay-per-view. Thanks, Robbie. Come back and see us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Should we take a quick
break?
We'll take a very quick break. We're going to continue with Mark Norman. Stay there. I want to thank Robbie Lawler for stopping in.
I'm happy I got that fight story out. I forgot about it this morning.
That was a wonderful
I can't believe I
fight
forgot
story.
About it. Or a non-fight story.
It was. It certainly helped the last 20 minutes. So
yeah,
it's weird because you kept saying good luck, and I almost said break a leg, which is different for
probably
fighters.
a bad thing.
Yeah,
I think that's bad for a performer.
Yeah, they really don't want to hear that one.
Right.
I love that Jimmy was almost in a fight.
Yeah.
Little Mexican fella. The best part of the story is finding someone that speaks Spanish just to tell the story.
As I was walking, I was telling this guy. I just kept He just kept stopping, and he didn't. Again, he was like in okay shape. Like if he was sober, you'd have to be careful. But he was so fucking out of it. Like it was just been like beating a fucking sleeping person.
Right.
But he kept following, and then I would stop, and he would stop, and he wouldn't do anything menacing. He would just stand there and try to snarl, and then he would put his fists up, and nod, like yeah, like.
And was he doing that with his teeth?
Yeah, but it was he had drool on the side of his mouth. He had been drooling. I mean, he was.
Was this is what, a week ago?
No, this was last night.
So was it you think there was a gay thing?
No, it wasn't. I mean, it might have been. I mean, I had lunch with someone, and I had no idea that the parade was yesterday, and I was on 14th Street, and I was like, we couldn't find any place to eat. It was fucking annoying.
Crazy.
As soon as I got off the train, I saw rainbow flags. I'm like, oh, fuck. Everything's going to be packed.
Yeah. I live in the West Village. It was brutal.
It was brutal? The Gay Pride Parade.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. Yeah, go gays. But holy hell. I mean, they're aggressive. I got my ass grabbed 20 times,
Really?
Guys are hugging me, and they're all sweaty and everything, and guys are humping. It was wild.
You get your ass grabbed?
Yeah, at least 11 times.
What did you do?
I just
besides come.
Yeah. I mean, at first it's like, well, this is fun. Look how crazy. But then you're like, all right. Then you start feeling a chick. Like, stop it. I have feelings. Yeah.
There's a person in here.
Yeah, right. I have rights.
Well, it just means you're hot there, Mark.
Well.
Take something out of that.
I was a little flattering.
I don't think they were grabbing every guy's ass, I would assume.
Roland said he got no looks.
Roland got no looks. He was all bummed about that.
Yeah. I was with a girl, so maybe that's why they didn't check me out. But if you're not getting eyed up on Gay Pride Parade Day, you're fucking...
Oh, yeah. Kill yourself.
Yeah.
It took Roland.
What happened over there? Yes, Justin.
It took Roland 4 hours to get home because of the parade, just to go 2-3 blocks.
Roland exaggerates about everything.
Yeah, he's slow.
He's just slow.
He's just slow in general.
Yeah, because now he's bragging that his flight to, I think, San Diego is going to cost $2,500 or something on the company's dime. He's making a big deal out of that. I think Roland just lies.
Wait, he's got a $2,500 flight to San Diego? Why?
I believe so. I think I might have thrown that sheet away because I wasn't going to bring it up, but now I did. Whatever. He's doing another Comic-Con, and supposedly the flight is like $2,500, and he's bragging about it.
Jeez.
Maybe you could come in and
How did we
explain that.
never get Roland? When me and Sam would go out there every year.
Yeah.
We never got anybody sent with us.
I don't know. I guess times are different. Who knows? But we have Mark Norman in studio, thank God. How are you, Mark?
Hey, good. Just got back from L.A., so it's going to be back in the city.
What were you doing in L.A.?
I did Conan again.
Nice.
Good times. And then I was at Bonnaroo before that. So it's been a wild month.
That's actually a better gig than you think it's going to be when you do it. You think it's going to be kind of like, it's a fucking music venue and they're awful. But the crowds are actually good.
They were great. It was in a big 500-seat tent. It was jam-packed every day. It was, Jeff Ross, Ralphie May. It was a good crew. It was Soder, Big J, Ari, and Ari brought a lot of drugs, so we really went crazy.
Oh, okay.
What kind of drugs does Ari bring around?
Oh, my
God. I can only imagine.
There's Molly, there's shrooms, and then he's just got tons of weed all over him, like in every pocket, it's wild. He does that thing where he opens his trench coat, and it's just a pharmacy,
Jesus.
So I banged a girl on a farm. It was a good time.
You met her there?
Met some local chick, real gross hippie, and she's like, I have horses. And I said, oh, great, I love horses. I just got to get back to that barn. And we banged on hay.
Wow.
Really?
Pretty hot.
What'd she look like?
Robbie Lawler. Nah, she was all right. There was some hair in places, but come on, it's Bonnaroo.
Her pits?
Yeah, a little pit hair.
I could take that.
Yeah.
Jimmy doesn't mind.
I don't mind that.
Pit hair is brutal.
A little dirty hippie.
It was a little brutal, but, just keep those arms down, and you're all right.
Do you wear a condom?
Oh, yeah.
Was she, like a 4 or 5?
I'll say 5.5.
5.5? All right.
Yeah, but your standards go way down, plus the drugs, and, it's a love fest.
And you're having sex on hay.
It's hay, yeah.
Is it painful to have sex on hay?
She was the one on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I got lucky.
Hay is very painful.
Yeah. Well, it was a hay bale. What do you call the stack, the squares?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Why don't you bring her to your hotel?
Because the hotel's an hour away.
Oh, right.
It's a whole thing. Getting laid at Bonnaroo is actually a lot harder than I thought. I thought it'd be free love and just blowjobs everywhere. But, no.
Go to a horse farm.
Yeah, you gotta meet a girl who's not too fucked up, but still a little fucked up, and who's not watching the music, and then bring her back to the hotel, and it's an hour drive, and the passion is gone, and her BO is kicking. It's a lot.
Did you bring her back to the hotel or no?
No, I just went back to her place.
Well, don't you stay, is it in Tennessee?
Yeah.
That's where the hotel is?
Yeah, the whole thing's in Tennessee. I can't remember the name of the town.
That's why these hotels are.
Did you?
Fucking thing is there.
You went from the barn to her place, or
from Bonnaroo to her place?
Mumfreesboro.
There you go, Mumfreesboro. That's the name of the town.
Oh, thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, he's
beautiful.
A closet hippie.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a good time.
Oh, I'm going every year.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Who headlined it?
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel at
I know.
Bonnaroo.
Came out in an all-black suit and a fly swatter. And he was just like, what are we doing here?
Did they like him?
They loved him. He killed.
Yeah, Billy Joel's one of those guys across the board. They love him.
Yeah, he's a real pro.
Robert Plant was there?
Yeah.
And the Sensational Space Shifters?
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire was there. They had some fun acts.
What is Robert Plant and the Sensational Space Shifters? What is he doing now, this guy?
He was just hitting that axe, baby. Just rocking out.
You saw Robert Plant?
I saw Robert Plant. I saw everybody.
What, did he do any Zeppelin?
Yeah.
He usually does Zeppelin in a strange way these days.
It was a lot of instrumental, and you're like, I think that's Black Dog, and that's Fool in the Rain.
But he's the vocalist. Why is he doing instrumentals?
He's lost his voice.
Yeah,
it wasn't pretty.
Did he sing any of them?
Yeah, he sang a couple that you're like, I think I know that song, but none of the real big ones. Yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer.
It's been a long time.
I wonder if that's why he won't do the Zeppelin reunion. It's just the voice. Maybe he feels I can't do this.
I think that's what it is. It's kind of like, what's the Beach Boys guy, Brian Wilson? Have you heard him sing now? Whew, it's not pretty.
Oh boy, Troy's gonna have a problem with that.
Oh shit.
Troy Kwan loves Brian Wilson.
I mean, I love him too. He's a genius. But geez Louise, he's out of it.
I heard Smile.
I've heard
exactly.
I've heard he has his good days and his bad days.
Yeah,
with the singing and stuff. So.
Billy Joel at Bonnaroo is an odd choice.
It was odd.
Never would have guessed that.
He's at the top of the lineup too.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Joel and then Mumford & Sons.
They were great.
Didn't he just break a record at the Garden for most sold-out shows or something?
I would imagine.
He's got like a thing where he's once a month, right?
A residence.
Residence, thank you.
Those residencies are very... You got to get one of those, Jimmy. Where would you have one of those, you think?
I don't know. Hopefully there's a good 100-seat club somewhere. They would love to hear the same fucking banal observations week after week.
I think they love you in Rochester.
Yeah, maybe Rochester. I'll go up there and find a nice small hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Do my residency.
I'd do a residency maybe in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
When they're begging for entertainment up there.
Yeah, when there's anything, there's nothing to do and they're looking for anything. Yeah, then I'll go up.
Amy Schumer, Mark, you brought this up. So she's in trouble for being a racist, but she didn't say anything racist. I'm very confused by what you were telling me during the break here.
Quote, unquote, she has a blind spot when it comes to race, which is like, hey, a comic can talk about whatever they want to talk about. You can't be like, you didn't mention this enough. You know, it's ridiculous.
They're getting her for that.
Yeah.
That she's not really talking about race. So she has to be a racist because she's not talking about it.
She's avoiding it, quote unquote.
Oh,
it's
we
crazy.
Have lost our fucking minds in this country. I'm not going to start joking about safe material, and don't ask that of me, is her quote. It's Time Magazine's picking up on this?
You know, when somebody's big, they got to take you down.
Comedian Amy Schumer has defended herself against claims her comedy is racially insensitive, saying she jokes about race because it's part of her job in a series of screenshots posted on Twitter. It is a joke, and it is funny. I know that because people laugh at it, Schumer wrote in the post. Trust me, I am not a racist. So she has some racist jokes, maybe?
I guess.
Just the fact that any performer has to come out and say that. She's here tomorrow, so we can ask her when she's in. But I had heard something about Amy responds to racist. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, they reference some Latino jokes that she makes.
Yeah, she does everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Are they writing the same blog about fucking?
There was an article in the Guardian.
Guardian. That was
let's see.
Yeah. Who's the talk show host? Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name.
Several jokes about Latinos.
George Lopez.
I used to date Latino guys, she reportedly said in a stand-up routine. Now I prefer consensual.
That's a great joke.
Yes, it's Latino and it's kind of rape. That's great.
Right. Also, you got to be able to make fun of Latinos. That's the one group, because they're not white, they're not black. It's that middle, perfect, gooey brown middle.
So they went after her. Oh, God, we've lost it.
Yeah. I will say there's part of me that's like, because I feel like, this is probably a bad thing to say, but sometimes I think women get away with more edgy humor because they're a woman. So it's kind of fun seeing a little equal opportunity, because old, pale-faced Whitey, the blue-eyed devil, I feel like we say one thing about anything, we're fucked. But, jeez, I should have brought it up.
Well, no, but now they're going after her for... That's a great joke.
It's a great joke.
Especially if it's a great joke. You got to leave the fucking stand-up alone.
Does anyone take this
Leave
stuff
them the
seriously
fuck
anymore,
alone.
though? Like, I don't think anybody actually says, oh, she's a... It's what happens is somebody writes a blog, or they write a post about something, and all of a sudden we, as the performer who's reading it, we think that, oh my God, everybody's thinking this about me. But they're not. No one's Googling Jim Norton, or no one gives a fuck.
I think she called more attention to it because nobody knew what this Guardian piece was yesterday. And then she posts this thing on Twitter, and everybody's like, what's she talking about? Because she didn't reference the Guardian piece. So then everybody Googles what's going on, and then they find out about this. So she may have called more attention to this than necessary.
Okay.
And this is from the article, for such a keen observer of social norms and an effective satirist of the ways gender is complicated by them, Schumer has a shockingly large blind spot around race.
That was it.
That is ridiculous.
That's stupid.
I feel sorry for you guys. I'll say it every time. They destroyed the radio industry years ago, and now they're going to attempt to do the same thing to stand-ups.
Only relevant ones. That's the beauty of flying under the radar.
Yeah.
We can say whatever we want. Nobody gives a shit.
It's unbelievable, though. I never thought it would. I got to say it every time. I never thought it would happen to comedians.
I know. Everybody's a professional tattletale.
Yes.
That's all it is. Saying I'm offended is the adult version of going, I'm telling. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's ridiculous. Like the Seinfeld thing with the colleges. I saw comedians getting on his ass. It's like, you're mad at him? He's one of the good ones.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's amazing how many comedians are just buying into this shit.
Right.
They're just being stupid. I mean, it's exactly the same with radio. The radio guys would go after other radio guys. I'm like, no, you got to all stick together. They're coming for all of us.
Yeah, that's why I love the Bill Burr model. He's like, I just avoid everything. I ignore everything. I just say what I want, and I go to work.
Right. All right, we'll talk to Amy about it. Well, we don't even need to talk to her.
We'll ask her, yeah.
We'll ask her about it, but whatever.
I literally don't know one good comedian who buys into any of it. Not one. Like, not one comic I know that I think is really funny or creative that buys into any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's just people need stuff to talk about. It's like sometimes comics need shit to joke about. You know, there's times where we need to look for something to make fun of. And we do. And that's what bloggers are. They're looking for something to write about. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
And they take something that should be a thought. Like, yeah. And that's how fast it should be. That's how long it should be in your mind. And they write a whole post about it because they have to have something to create.
It shows their desperation.
And
that they're reaching for straws like that.
And when she retweeted, they were probably like, yes, we got on the map.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It also does make you want to see her movie in a weird way. You know
press.
what I mean?
It's good press.
Trainwreck. Trainwreck's going to do well. Very well.
Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I saw it.
Laugh out loud, yeah.
It's absolutely very good.
I saw clips, and the clips I saw were very funny.
Yeah, I would say Attell steals it. In my book.
Yeah.
But,
he plays a homeless guy, right?
Yeah, and they just let him riff. Yeah. And he's just being Attell, and it's amazing.
You can tell he's just riffing in general, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was great. Everyone was great in that movie.
Yeah.
I like
Keith was great. I got cut out.
Oh, you too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right.
What were you supposed to be in Trainwreck?
I was like a Wall Street douche, and I was hitting on her at a bar.
Yeah.
And I kind of choked. It's my fault. Appetite was so intimidating on set that I kind of blanked, and I get why they cut me out.
What did you do wrong?
He was like, I don't really like these lines. You're a comedian. Come up with something. And I was just like, just being here is terrifying enough. Now you want me to think on the fly, and he's like, "Oh, you're a writer." So I'm like, "Well, can I go to the trailer?" He's like, "No, just think of something and action." I was like, "What? No, I'm not ready." And I was just like, and I had nothing. Memorizing the lines for me was hard enough, and then coming up with Apatow level, dialogue.
They probably should have gave you a day or a couple hours.
It'd be nice.
You probably would have came up with something.
Give me 10 minutes in the trailer.
That's putting you on the spot.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
I love that inside stuff.
Did
you just completely panic?
I panicked, and he's on the big crane, he's got a latte. I'm freaking out. I'm in a fucking costume. I had makeup on.
And did he laugh, or did you just get nothing from him?
I got zilch.
Well,
zero.
You can't see if he's laughing because you're on he's not like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
were you heating up? Or you just like...
I was sweating, the lady had to come dab me. That was the whole thing. I'm not a movie guy, I can't act, so just being there was crazy enough, and then...
How bad did you just want off set?
Oh, my God.
When they finally said, all right, that's it, we got it?
I was so relieved. And there was this really good improviser, like a UCB type guy with me, and he was fucking zinging and zanging, and I was like, this improviser's killing me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm a writer. Give me a minute in the trailer alone with a pad.
Did he make it into the movie?
No, he didn't because of me. I brought him down, too. Yeah, fuck that guy. Take you down with me.
I love these stories.
Did they try to make you feel Did they try to make you feel good about it at all, or they're like, okay, we're good, next scene?
Nah, it was just like, all right, we got it.
Oh, good.
Get out of here.
And you knew they didn't have it.
I knew. And the weird thing was, when you get into a fist fight, well, not you, Jimmy.
Yes, when you almost have one.
Later, you're like, I should have done this, and I should have took his legs out. It was like that with comedy. I was like, I should have said this, and I came up with like 30 great lines, or what I thought were great, 2 hours later on the G train back.
Should have went back and said, Judd, I got this now.
Yeah.
Let's reset the whole...
But the beauty of it is I saw him later at the Cellar bomb, and I was like, yeah, welcome to my world.
So what were you supposed to... You were just hitting on her.
Yes.
What was one of the lines?
Well, one of the lines was, the ones he wanted was I was supposed to have created an app. That was how I got rich as this young entrepreneur. And he's like, I need a funny app. Give me a funny app. And I was like, and how about this? And he was like, no. I was like, how about this? And he's like, no. He's like, you know what? Just go with the lines. And I was like, okay. It was brutal. Real self-esteem killer, and Amy's there, and everybody's looking at their watch, and yeah, it was tough.
That happens, right?
Yeah, I've never been in a movie since, and I got cut out.
I think Mark Norman's going to do just fine in this business. You're already doing extremely well.
I'm in the Robert Lawler documentary, so that's one credit.
You got that going for you. The best part of the interview was Jimmy telling his fight story, and the stupid guy, not stupid guy, I don't mean it like that, but the guy is doing B-roll, which is, video of the buttons and the on-air sign and the clock and the logos. I'm like, film Jimmy. This is a good little story. Who knows? Maybe you could work it in there somehow.
Right. Well, I just said Judd Apatow bombed on radio, so I fucked up there too. But, he was very funny. He's a funny guy.
I don't think Judd would. To be honest, Judd he is a stand-up. Like that's where he started. So I don't think he'd probably go, yeah, I had a lot of bombs.
He's a true stand-up. He appreciates it. He knows you guys have your bombs.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
That's a lot of pressure, though, man. There's nothing worse than when your mind has to work.
Yes.
And it's not.
Right.
That's the worst.
And it lets you down.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing worse than your mind letting you down.
Usually there's no consequences
in a very important moment, like being on set with Judd Apatow and Amy Schumer for a movie that's going to be huge.
Yes. And then you think like Jonah Hill, that's how he made it. He got in a movie and was like funny off the cuff, and they kept him in every movie. I'm the opposite of that. I'm out of every movie. Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Sorry I'm laughing so hard.
No.
How many takes did you do?
I probably did like 10 takes of nothing.
What apps were you coming up with?
I was like, how about an app that lets you know if a guy's racist? Or like a sex offender, whatever. I was just wheeling and dealing, and I had nothing. Stuff like that I can't remember, like apps that let you know where the nearest bathroom is, Well,
it's hard to come up with a funny app.
A funny app, yeah. It was tough.
Yeah, because if you actually come up with it, you could be a multi-millionaire.
Right, exactly.
You know what?
You asked me to invent something right now.
Yeah, exactly. That seems feasible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he came up with a couple that he loved, but I wasn't crazy about them. But
you remember what they were?
He had something about a dog, like a dog walker, like dog walker app. Like, hey, I need my dog walked. I'll find a guy. I was like, that's not a bad idea, but it's not funny. I feel like I'm burning a bridge with the app, a towel.
It's okay. I think you burned it already.
I love you, Judd.
No, he has, I like the fact that he'll chime in. Like, the way we did it, it was a horse and carriage, and there was a little speaker in there. And he would actually come on and say, and his actually ideas were good. And he let me do my ideas, and I thought the whole thing was peachy. I thought it was a really wonderful meeting of the minds, and everything was fun.
Yeah. Well, you've been in the game a while. This was all very new and scary to me.
Jimmy got cut because I think the scene was just too long.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's what they say. I hope it wasn't because I stunk, because I watched it, and I was like, yeah. You know, you watch yourself, and you're like, yes or no, like, you kind of know. And I wasn't embarrassed watching it. I was actually like, fuck, man, I really enjoyed this.
The movie comes in a little, it's a little long, this movie, so then that seems feasible that they cut it because the scene was too long.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Speaking of all this PC shit with the Amy Schumer and, not keeping score, now we have a company, this just broke, trying to eliminate size shaming.
Were they giving everybody blinders?
Yeah, how does that work?
And fucking eye patches?
Well,
so you don't have to see the fat chest.
I think it's mostly for women. So you go in and you're a size, let's say you're a size 10. You're no longer a size 10, people. You're now a rose.
What?
Yes, this is going on. Size shaming. Clothing size is using flowers instead of numbers.
Wow.
This just gives people an excuse to be a big fat fucking pig.
A rose.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shaming is good.
As soon as you go to a clothing store and you're fitting into a pair of jeans that are way too, much bigger than you would like, it forces you maybe to try to exercise a little more or eat a little better.
You're not a rose. You're an elephant.
Or they should do it. Or, you've been used to, mediums your whole life, and you finally put on that medium and realize you're just all titty and disgusting looking.
Right.
Then you realize, okay, maybe it's time to get myself back in fighting form. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like the whole thing with the ladies and the fat shaming, because I know a lot of feminists, and they'll be like, you can't say this about women, and then they'll post a picture of Chris Christie in a ill-fitting baseball uniform, and like, look how funny this fat guy is. Like, well, what's the difference?
Right.
Why can you do it and we can't?
Yeah.
That's so hypocritical.
That was who told him he looked good before he stepped onto that field?
That was rough, yeah.
He looked like a mascot.
It looked like an Abbott Costello kind of like gag.
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Did you see his penis presentation through the tight fucking baseball pants?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on down there?
Ugh.
You might have a micro penis on top of it.
Yeah, he had a real rose.
That could really fuck up his presidential bid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because look at what is going on. What is that? Is that a tiny little penis? What is this?
Oh, wow, yeah.
It looks like a camel toe.
It's like an Audi.
That's an awful. Oh, my God.
Weird.
What is he packing?
He's got the pants really high.
And he's got a tiny head. He's got a tiny helmet.
You know, there's this.
Where's his ball?
Or
is that one of his balls?
I think that's his ball.
Might be a ball.
You sure?
Yeah, because the dick can get anywhere, but those balls have got to come out.
Yeah. Then he has tiny balls.
Perfect to lead into the gay marriage, the Supreme Court.
Well, I just want to finish this story. So nothing ruins a good workout like exercise clothes that are the wrong size, but it's hard to find the right size when the clothes in the store or in the catalog are being modeled by women with unrealistic body shapes. And it doesn't help when every company seems to have their own ideas about the measurements of a size 8 or 4 or 14. One company is taking a new approach to sizing for their athletic apparel with the goal of helping women of all shapes and sizes find workout gear that fits and looks great. To achieve this goal, they replace size numbers with flower names to help end the notion of size shaming. Let's see. When purchasing an item, you choose between Poppy, that's sizes 2 to 4, Lily, 6 to 8, Rose, 10 to... Why is Rose 10 to 12, by the way?
Because it sounds nicer, and you're becoming a big pig by then, so they want you, as you're ballooning into a big pig, to feel better about yourself.
Right. So a bunch of fat chicks walk in a room and go, look at this bouquet.
I don't think anyone's buying those fat chicks roses, so that's the only
right.
But they should be shittier flowers, right? As you get bigger.
Yeah.
So at least you're still telling the person, look, you're a shitty flower size.
I'll have a weed. I'm a bag of fertilizer.
I'm size poison ivy. Rose is 10 to 12. Violet is 14 to 16 sizes. Iris is sizes 18 to 20. And Daisy is sizes 22 through 24.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. What's diabetes? Honeysuckle?
We don't want there to be an inherent order to the sizes, with women striving to fit into the smallest number possible. And we don't want women to feel bad for ordering a size that society has deemed unacceptable.
It's so stupid. Like when a woman loses 100 pounds, they go, "You look great, good, congratulations."
Yeah.
But then when they gain it, it's also good. You can't have it both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should be able to say you look disgusting.
Right.
If you're able to say, "Wow, you look great," now that you lost 100, you're right.
It's and you just can't change the name. That's not going to help it. Like, what if your kid is stupid?
I think
can't be like, "Well, he's a purple." You know what I mean? You got to stick with it so we know what's good and bad.
And it makes it easier not to maybe do the right thing and lose a little weight, because in the end, it's your health.
Of course.
Besides looking like a big fat monster, also you got health issues.
Right.
On top of it. That's just more ridiculousness that's going on in our society. Society. So the gay marriage thing, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Republicans got to get their shit together. Don't you think?
Well, you're not for it?
I'm for it. But
I mean, they look irrelevant.
They're looking a little, old school at this point.
Oh, I see.
Because this shit is happening in front of their eyes.
Right.
And they're fighting it tooth and nail. But they got votes on the line.
Right. It is kind of nice to see them actually stand up for something, even though I'm against them. But it's nice to see somebody be honest and go, "Yeah, I don't like it."
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that too.
Yeah.
Even though I think they're wrong.
I agree.
It's none of their business.
I just don't give a fuck.
I know. That's the best part of gay marriage is we can stop talking about it now.
Yeah. We can move on to maybe something else.
Right.
I just never gave a fuck about it. I just never did.
Yeah.
I don't care. Good for them.
Sure. Who cares? I can't wait for the weddings.
Well, that part of it.
Yeah.
Fuck. How many more weddings are we going to have?
Oh, I know, right? That bouquet is going to get thrown pretty far.
I keep my fucking gay friends to a minimal, all right? Relax, Mark.
You kind of like Colin Quinn on me there.
I got a few. I got a few. I don't go crazy with the gay friends.
Right.
Just a few to look like accepting.
Yeah. I was thinking today, you can tell who's gay by who's hungover at the office. Like if a guy, you're like, "I don't know about him," and then he comes in like, "Woo, crazy night." Yeah.
I was always wondering about you, but now I know for sure.
Right,
That's funny, man. Everyone who's hung over today at the office, if you were wondering about that person.
Yeah, if there's a guy, walking with a limp.
If he has glitter trailing behind him as he's walking in. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that man's
why are they
celebrating homosexual.
Why are we supposed to care, though? What's the other side of this argument? Why are we supposed to care? Because of the religious angle, I guess?
Yeah.
Or they say I guess it chips it with that way it's society, or the foundation is the family. Whatever.
But marriage is a shitty institution to begin with. Most people don't even survive their marriages.
Right.
What's the divorce rate up to? 60, 70%, something like that?
Something like that. And there's one gay guy or a couple gay guys out there like, fuck. Like, I'm sure gay guys don't want commitment either.
Yeah, because they were using that as the excuse.
Exactly.
I'd marry you, but,
right.
the ward and
the
government says we can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. They're probably like, fuck me, I have no more excuses now.
Yeah. And I don't have an excuse either. I dated a girl for a while, and she would always talk about marriage. I was like, "I'm not doing it till the gays can do it." That was my out. Now I don't have that.
Should have used that on the Apatow movie somehow.
Oh, yeah, right.
That would have worked. But that was big news over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of celebrations going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
It was lovely.
They got David Sweat.
No, the big dick guy or the little dick guy?
I think the big dick guy got shot last week. That was Matt. Or 2 days ago. And then David Sweat they just got yesterday.
Oh, wow.
That was some exciting TV, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was the one who shot a cop, I think.
Over the weekend?
Yeah.
And it was a lone trooper ends up getting him in the end.
Wow. Saw him walk out of the road.
A lone trooper just happens to be in the right place at the right time and sees, I think David Sweat comes out of the woods and is jogging down the road. And all of a sudden the guy goes, "Holy fuck, that's David Sweat."
Wow.
And then he tried to get him to stop. He wouldn't stop. And then he shot him twice, I think in the torso, right?
Yeah, he's critically wounded.
Yeah. He's critically wounded.
Yeah.
What kind of injuries are they saying yet?
Don't know.
And the picture was all over the place yesterday, him on the ground being arrested, all bloody. He got some clothes from those cabins.
Yeah.
He found some camouflage.
Holy
some camos.
And see this one guy looking up at the camera?
Yeah,
it's funny, they got him, and the guy's looking up at the camera.
Like he caught a fish.
Yeah. 3 days.
Whew.
That is an amazing story from beginning to end now, man. They got a perfect fucking movie, don't they?
Yeah. I got to check every outhouse, back house, dick house, whatever.
You see the cabin they were staying in? They found a nice cushy spot. For how many days were they in the cabin? Did they ever say? Maybe a day or two?
I didn't read.
They found a cushy spot with a TV, and they found clothes in there. And
how did they know the owners
and,
wouldn't come back?
I think that's why they had to leave, I think. I'm right? Do I have all my facts? They had a nice spot.
They cared. They have guns. I mean, they shot at a car before Big Dick Guy was killed.
Right.
Like, the guy who called the cops on him had his window shot at.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, I doubt they were worried about someone sneaking into their cabin.
They were trying to get the camper, you think, to take off with it?
I think they were trying to get a car. Because they were close to Canada.
Yeah, Richard Matt was getting a little desperate. And rumor has it he was pretty sick with whatever, probably explosive diarrhea or something. He probably was drinking the wrong water, I would assume. I think they've, fled the cabin, though, because the owner showed up. And they wanted to keep fucking moving, I believe.
It's great that one guy was caught, though, because, like, I really want to know all about this.
Sure.
You know, and if both of them were killed...
Yep.
You'll never know.
And this David Sweat, his life's going to be a living hell now in prison, even worse than it was before this. So I would assume he lawyers up and goes, all right, you want to know the fucking story? You're gonna help me out a little bit here in prison.
Oh yeah, he's
a little bit.
Big book deal.
But I mean,
but you can't profit.
The son of San Juan.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But they're talking solitary for a long time and stuff. So Sweat goes, look, you're going to give me a fucking regular cell if you want me to talk about that fat pig that we were fucking.
Right.
And, with the frozen chop meat with the tools inside. If you want to know all this, then you got to help me out a bit here.
She's the worst thing in this entire story.
She is horrible.
Yeah.
My point is, he's going to come to some kind of agreement with the prison officials.
But then another guard was
Or why
arrested,
talk?
too.
Why talk then? I mean, your life's a living hell, so you keep your mouth shut unless you can maybe get something out of it.
But they also arrested another guard on the inside that was responsible.
I don't get his story.
I don't get it either.
He's the one that she convinced to bring that meat in.
Did he not know what was in it?
He says he doesn't know what was in it. He was just doing her a favor.
Okay, maybe he was.
But he got paintings or something from one of the guys, right?
Yeah, I did read that.
But that was because he was getting inside info about some of the going-ons at the prison, right?
Yeah.
His story's a little confusing. Kenny, can you fill in the blanks here?
Well, I don't know too much, but allegedly he was giving them access to unauthorized areas so they could, do whatever they were doing.
But he was claiming he did that because he was getting info from those guys. That's what I read.
Well, he's trying to justify it somehow now.
You think he's in deep trouble?
Yeah, he's trying to create a reasonable doubt.
Gene Palmer, is it? Right?
Yep.
The longtime guard gave at least one of the prison escapees a screwdriver and a wrench to help fix electrical breakers in the catwalk area behind their cells. An official familiar with the investigation told CNN.
Wow.
Well, what a great story.
The whole thing, the meat with the tools in it, the breaking out, the
pig.
The pig.
These poor guys, I don't mean poor guys because they're horrific people, but poor guys as far as being a man goes, knowing they have to stick their dicks in Tilly.
Yeah, they got to fuck a rose.
Wait, let me go back to my sizes. I think you're being generous with your size.
Was it a tulip? I can't remember.
Let me look. That's great. They had to fuck a...
They had to fuck a rose.
You think she was a 10 to 12?
Yep.
I'm going to go Violet, 14 to 16.
I think 14.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. I think they had to fuck a Violet.
Yeah, I'd like to see a photo of her. Is that around?
Yeah.
You haven't seen Joyce Mitchell?
No.
Oh, especially Jimmy did just fucking hours on her. Hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Shit.
Yeah. All right.
I poked fun at her appearance.
Joyce Mitchell. Her nickname is Tilly. That's her.
Ah, that's not bad.
It's horrible.
Looks like Harry Nielsen.
It's very bad.
Someone said Paul Williams as well, right? That came in last week.
Yep. She's not lovely.
She's the best part of the story, and her dumb husband that's still standing by her.
She looks like Chris Squire, the guy from Yes who just died.
Bass player of Yes.
Yes.
67 years old. He died over the weekend.
So she wanted the 2 convicts to kill her husband. Then she said, I still love him. I don't want to be a part of it. Not don't kill him. I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So now she's going to go to jail, and the husband is like a total doofus, and he's saying he's going to wait for her to come out of prison.
Wait.
Love wins.
It does win.
I think I fucked her on a farm in Tennessee.
On a bale of hay.
Do we know what her body looks like?
Yeah, give me a lower.
Yeah, awful.
It's
awful.
They have her standing in court, right?
Look at that. Come on. That's
She's a frump.
Oh, God.
She's a frump, but out of jail, I think that's a 9.
If you know that you could get on the other side of those walls, that is a 9.
Yes.
You're right.
That's not even a 9 if the other option is a man's asshole.
Another.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
If you're on Tinder long enough, you'll come across one of those.
You see David Sweat's mom talking?
No.
She just wants to know what's wrong with her kid. Do we have that clip? Maybe we can find that real fast. I think they just played it on CNN as well. I saw this yesterday. And it looks like David Sweat had a father that was threatening to throw him out a fucking window if he didn't behave. I'm like, oh, okay, so it makes a lot of things make sense.
Right.
Here's the exclusive from
us. We got the exclusive.
Yeah, we did, actually. You're right.
Oh, wow, she's fucking Grandpa Munster is his mother.
Yeah, start over there, Stangles.
Yeah, I want to watch Al Lewis talk. What a disaster this lady is.
What was off my shoulders that he was captured and he is alive.
And again, talk to me about those feelings when he was captured.
It was just a sigh of relief, and we started crying because it wasn't killed.
Were you ever afraid that he was going to try to come down to this area while he was on the run?
Oh no, my son knows that if he would have came here, I would have knocked him out and had them guys take him to jail by themselves. Because that's just the way I am. I've always done it to him when he was bad.
That's good.
We spoke a few weeks ago, and you described to me that these problems with David really began at an early age. Can you describe to me, I know it was when he was about 9 years old. Can you describe to me when these problems began and what they were like?
In the beginning, he was 9 years old, and his dad brought him a broken fishing pole and a mess of tackle box that wasn't new. And he got mad. His dad told him to get down the stairs, or he was going to throw him down the stairs. He went in the bedroom, and he took his baseball and threw it through the window, hoping it would hit his dad. And because it didn't, he broke his new TV that I just got him for his birthday.
So the violence began at an early age, obviously. And talk to me a little bit, as he grew up, did he grow out of it?
What a shitty
did he
kid.
get worse? What was it like?
I don't know. He always got in trouble, and every time he did, I would grab him by the ear and take him to the police station. Or one time he had a knife in his backpack, and the school called me. They wouldn't go with his backpack. I had to. Well, I grabbed him by his ear right in front of everybody, took him right to the principal's office. I don't deal with that stuff.
So your son right now, he's 35, correct?
You know who she looks like? She looks like Brando.
Yes.
Brando at the end of his life.
Right, Dr. Moreau.
What do you think about what it's going to be like now for him to go back to prison for the rest of his life?
I don't know. I know that that's where he should have stayed.
Ooh.
And if that's what he needs to do, then that's what he needs to do, is go back and do what he's got to do.
She said do a lot.
Have you been watching the media coverage? Have you been watching the news outlets?
No, I don't want to. I just want to know what's the matter with my son.
Your son is a dud, miss. You popped a fucking worthless dud out of your box. Sorry.
And what a shitty dad. Imagine,
thank you.
As a 9-year-old telling my dad I'm going to throw him down the stairs, he'd kick me in the teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
9? What are you, crazy?
Yeah, the kid is disappointed with the gift that his father gave. The father gets so mad he threatens to throw him down the stairs. I mean...
No, he threatened to throw his father down the stairs.
Yeah.
I thought it...
No, he threatened to throw his father down the stairs.
Oh, I thought it was the other way. I thought the father threatened to shoot him down.
And then he fucking threw the baseball out the window, hoping to hit his dad.
Right.
And then he broke his TV, right? He threatened to throw his father down the stairs.
Oh, wow.
He's a shit
I heard that
child.
differently. Okay.
Yes. No, he is cum that should have been flushed.
Yes. Come on the tits.
Ooh, exclusive look inside cabin where escapee's head. Do you want to do this real fast?
I'd love an exclusive look.
We love a good
Where's Adam
exclusive.
Nimoy? He's not here yet, is he?
He just arrived.
He's in the lobby. He's coming up.
Hit this fast.
The question is, why did they take the turn, and how did they know?
The walking, talking reporter. I love it.
Yeah.
She's a backpack, too. She's hiking.
That is a sweet cabin.
How'd they get into it? How'd CNN get in?
What's she doing?
Just looking
at stuff in here to eat. Sugar. Silverware.
Would it be great if a raccoon jumped out and bit her in the neck?
Yeah.
Isn't this like a crime scene? Should she be digging around? It's true.
This is the exclusive.
That was a terrible exclusive.
Wait, it's still going, though. Now it's just looking at all this stuff.
Look, the sunglasses on a deer head.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Those guys at least had a sense of humor while they were there.
You know they did that.
Yeah.
It wasn't all grim.
That's it? That's her exclusive?
Yeah.
Oof. She found sugar? Of course they ate all the good shit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's an amazing exclusive. Thank you for that.
Why did they want a car going through Canada? They would have to go through customs. How would you get in?
That's true.
It should have been like they're way too late
maybe
to go
just
to Canada.
to
the
have,
border.
To have the car to be able to just escape further because they knew that they were on the trail.
Right. I would assume they would have taken the car as close to the border as possible and then figure out how they were going to cross.
Yeah, I mean, there's
all sorts of detectors I heard on the border.
Yeah, but just like
even if it's
just
not
like the Mexican border, there. I mean, you can cross at certain points. You know, it's not like 100% sealed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You just kind of run across. But I don't even know what the good in going to Canada was. It's not 1975.
Right.
They would just send you back.
No, you got to go over there and then just live like a homeless guy for like a year. Panhandling.
Wow.
That's how I would have done it.
Yeah. How do you make money in Canada? There's no way to make money.
I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of people who, have been captured after 40 years and they made their own life.
You know what it was, though? They probably got in before. Like, now you can't get in anything without computer checks. Like, guys that have done that did it back in the day where it was like, what's your name? They don't even ask for ID. Now it's a little bit different.
No, yeah.
I mean, you still get fake IDs, and I mean, there's still an entire black market that's.
But you don't do that right away. I mean, he looks like shit because he's been on the run for 23 days, so he's perfect. He looks exactly like a homeless guy now. And
that's true.
And you set up shop somewhere.
Yeah, they said they looked pretty good. They were fed and they were eating and
they found some good stuff in those cabins.
Yeah, and he reaked of whiskey.
Which one?
The dead one.
Yeah, the one they
Richard Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He couldn't help himself and he had to drink whiskey as he has 1,200 fucking officers chasing him?
He's probably trying to get the taste of that fat bitch out of this mouth. Fucking just mushrooms and...
I'll risk being captured or shot and killed, but I gotta get this pussy taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, he probably didn't even drink it. He probably just gargled with it and fucking spat it out.
Maybe that's why they escaped to begin with.
Yeah, just to get away from her. That's tired of licking her dirty cooter.
Oof. And Sweat didn't have any weapons on him, right?
No.
No, but there was a photo of them walking with a shotgun on the Daily News' website.
Who took the photo?
It was a trail camera. Picked it up.
Oh, let's see that.
And they were just walking around in broad daylight. One of them was holding a shotgun.
Wow.
That's them.
Oh, man, that's a movie poster.
He looks all cleaned up nice, like he showered.
Yeah, they said that they were showered and shaved and...
Wow.
I mean, when you're hanging out in these cabins,
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how far he was from the guy when he got killed.
16 miles, I think.
He was that far away when... No, not when he got caught. But when he got killed, were they together that day? Or
yeah.
Were they just futzing about?
I think that's the mistake they made, too, sticking together. Because everyone was
right.
Trained to look for two guys.
Right.
So if you're one guy, sure, you could still be discovered, but it'd be a little harder, I think. Why would you split up?
Well, they said in that circumstance, sticking together was smart because you're encouraging each other, you're helping each other.
Yeah.
If you're in a city where there's people watching you, that's different. But there's no one going to... whoever sees two of them out there would have seen one of them.
Maybe
you
for the
switch
first
sleeping schedules and stuff like that. You can't fall asleep if you're by yourself.
Maybe for the first week, and then I think you got to split up and go, look, hopefully we'll see you in another country or something. Oh, we got a break. Yeah, we got Adam Nimoy here. We got Mark Norman in studio just killing it for us. Mark, where are you going to be?
Gonna be in stand-up Scottsdale, in Scottsdale, Arizona soon, and Doing a Southern tour. Check the website at marknormancomedy.com.
I see July 10th. You're going to Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah. I got to bring the funny back.
Bringing the funny back.
Yeah.
You're bringing the flag back, though, too.
Those people need a smile.
And I'll be in July 10, 11. I'll be in Borgata.
Great.
So I think the 11th is sold out. I'm not sure. I haven't been checking.
Okay, we're going to have Adam Nimoy in studio next. Stay there.
Yo.
We got Adam Nimoy outside the studio. He's entering as we speak. Good morning, Adam Nimoy.
Hi, Adam.
How are you, buddy?
Okay, how you doing, man?
All right.
Good to see you.
Good to
Gentlemen,
see you.
how
Hi,
are
buddy.
you?
You got a nice smile there, sir.
Yeah, well, I'm just back from the Grateful Dead, so I'm still, whirling and twirling in my mind.
Wow.
Are you you have to be a Grateful Dead fan if you went to it's the 50th anniversary or something,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Fare thee well tour, 50th anniversary.
Big Deadhead?
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but yes, I am, and I had a great time. What can I say?
How do they sound?
They're pretty good. It's a little uneven. I think they're still finding their sea legs. They just started this little tour they're doing.
I read an article over the weekend. I hear a lot of people needed medical attention because they think they could party and do their acid like the old days, and they were dropping like, dare I say, flies, but I did. They said they had a lot of problems. Did you see any of that?
I did see a little of that. I was on the floor dancing around and doing my thing, and there was a lot of guys in red and white, emergency guys coming in.
Probably guys that haven't dropped acid in a while or whatever, and drinking a little too much. And all right,
it was crazy.
Yeah, did they do drums in space?
They did. Yeah, they had a whole, Rhythm Devils drums in space thing going for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and that was pretty intense.
I don't think Jimmy would be a fan of drums in space.
No, was that just just a drum solo?
It's pretty much a chance for you to maybe go find some drugs or go get a T-shirt or a beer or go to the bathroom. In my humble opinion. I haven't gone to a lot of Dead shows in my life, but enough, and that drums in space always bored the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But other people say it's the most amazing thing. I guess it started because of people tripping. We will talk about your documentary in a minute here, sir.
That's cool, man. No problem.
They did drums in space because everyone's on acid, so
Right.
it was the perfect music for that back in the day, but then they kept it going for their entire careers.
It's the music version of Fantasia,
Yes.
where it kind of sucks, but it's drugs.
Yeah.
And they got a whole screen going with all kinds of visual effects and psychedelic stuff happening. So it keeps you busy and keeps you occupied and keeps you in that zone.
How many times have you seen them?
I've seen them probably, I'm not a record holder. I've only seen them probably 35, 40 times, but it was during the 70s.
It's impressive.
Well, there's a lot, I had a son-in-law, he went 100, 200 times. I mean, I never followed a whole tour, but I was in the Bay Area in the 70s when they were really happening.
No kidding.
Because I went to school in Berkeley, so I spent a lot of time with Jerry and the band, yes.
Wow.
Did you know them personally?
I did not. But when Jerry used to play at a club called the Keystone right off of Berkeley, and it'd be Tuesday night from 11 to 1. They wouldn't advertise. They would just put his name up on the marquee, and it wouldn't even be his name. There would be a pseudonym on there, and you knew, that Jerry was going to be in town. And there'd be 50, 75 people there. So, you get a real intimate kind of a club feel and really get to know what this guy is all about. It was a pretty trippy experience.
God, you went to all those Dead shows in the 70s. I bow to you.
Yeah.
I went in the early 90s, I think. Or mid-90s, not the same. They were still pretty good back then, actually.
Yeah, they were very good. But the 70s was the decade where they really found their crowd and were really, finding themselves as a great band.
You should do a documentary on that.
Well, it's been done. I mean, I'm friends with Justin Kreutzmann, who's Billy's son. Billy's the drummer of the band. And Justin's did a lot of documenting of them and is filming them now. So, yeah.
And is this finally it?
This is going to be it. I mean, they're going to play at Soldier Field in July. I think it's over the fourth weekend. They do 2 shows, and they're done.
And that's definitely it. They're saying that is it.
That's what they're saying. But,
I don't know.
Who
Come
knows?
on.
Who knows?
No way. Anyway, you're not here to talk about the Dead, but I find that fascinating that you're a Deadhead on top of it.
You want to raise money?
Yeah, you're raising money for the love of Spock, your dad.
I am.
You got quite a bit raised already, too. This is not like you needed $600,000. That was your goal. There's only 60 hours left, and they have $544,000. So basically, they need $56,000 more to make this documentary. And perks can include everything from digital copies of the film to Spock collectibles to a William Shatner autograph. So, I mean, and him and George Takei both kind of supported this and promoted it. And
heavily, yeah. Those guys have both been really behind me. In fact, Bill Shatner's been tweeting, and I interviewed him last week. Very intense, very emotional. And he's been signing autographs for photos that we're giving away as rewards. So, and George came in for an interview too. Those guys have been really helpful. They're like family, and they've been very supportive.
You're cool with the fact that Shatner didn't show up?
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
he explained himself last week on the show. We personally, we love Bill Shatner here.
Good.
We love the guy.
Yeah.
I can talk to him all day.
Yeah.
He's entertaining as all hell.
He is entertaining. He's been really a champion and has really reached out to me and supported me. I've had a number of meetings with him, and he had a lot of love for my dad. I mean, they were close friends, and they had ups and downs like most relationships, but I don't know what the hell happened at the whole, memorial thing. But it's, it's behind me now because the guy's been so supportive of everything I have done thus far, my number one champion.
He felt like he couldn't get out of that. It was a corporate gig for a good cause.
For the Red Cross.
Red Cross, right. Thank you, Jimmy.
It was a charity gig.
It was a charity gig. You shouldn't even say corporate gig, right. So he felt like he couldn't back out of that, was what he told us.
It's okay with me, man. The interview I got with him last week was unbelievable. It's going to be in the film. Very emotional. A lot of information about his relationship with my dad, about his experience with my dad in Star Trek. So, he's been a big supporter of this whole Kickstarter campaign. We're just a couple days left in it. We're not that far away from our goal, and I cannot wait until we reach it, and then I can start to make the film.
Right.
What was it like growing up? I mean, obviously, with someone who's that iconic, he's not just a celebrity. He's one of the most famous characters ever on television.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I mean, there was a lot of ups and downs. When he was making the series, they were on the set 14 hours a day, so it was kind of hard to see him, to relate to him. He was always in Spock character, so that was kind of a tough gig, trying to connect with him as a young boy. I mean, I had a lot of ups and downs with my dad, and he went from Star Trek right into Mission Impossible. That's 5 seasons of very intense TV.
Wow.
And then when they're off during hiatus, he's out working. My dad was a workaholic. He had a real strong work ethic, and he wanted to make hay while the sun was shining. He was worried that when that show was over, that would be it, and he'd be done.
Well, can I ask you, why was he in Spock character in the house? Was he like a method actor, or was that just...
That was his method, man, I'm telling you. That was his way of doing it. He talked a lot about that in his autobiography, that he had trouble slipping in and out of character. And they were always trying to joke around with him on the set and get him to laugh, and that's why they put the ears on me one day and cut my hair, and I came out of the turbo lift and kissed him on the bridge.
There's the photo.
There's the famous photo.
That's the photo, yeah.
Oh, wow.
When you said it was his method, I saw you do the air quotes. So what were you guys thinking that was?
Well, I didn't know. I'm a kid, but since then I've been directing, and I know a lot about the artist process, and some people really have trouble getting out of a character. When the director says cut, Bill Shatner is right at the gags and the jokes. Mm-hmm. But not my dad. He just needed to keep reserved, and that was his way of working through the character, and because the character it's a difficult character. There's not a lot going on the page. He doesn't emote a lot. He doesn't, he's very circumspect about what he says, and so he's got to really, it's an internal dialogue, and it does take a lot of concentration and a lot of thinking about how he's reacting to stuff.
Did your dad get along with George Takei?
Yeah. They got along. I mean, they were good friends, and my dad was very supportive of George, and in all of his functions and anything that George needed. His documentary, my dad was there for. They were very supportive of each other.
Because Shatner and him, not so much.
Yeah, that
not so
who
much.
Can understand? I don't understand all the conflicts that go on. It's like I don't really get it, and that's not what the film about. The film is really to celebrate Mr. Spock and my dad.
The fans, they get into a show and then they just assume everyone just gets along. You know what I mean? When they truly were just cast for the part in the end, and sometimes maybe you get a friendship out of it, but But of course, people aren't going to get along, and they're going to butt heads and whatnot.
It happens. There was conflict with some of the producers. It was a very intense show. They had to make them in 6 days and turn in like 52 minutes, which is unheard of. We don't even do that now. I mean, it was crazy what they had to do. They're under a lot of stress, under a lot of pressure. But the fact is that the chemistry is freaking there on the screen. You see it between Bill and my dad and DeForest Kelley. The three of them really made that show happen, and they were professionals, and they knew how to play off each other. And, I've been watching every episode to get ready for this documentary, and it's there. The magic is there. And who knows how it all happened. I mean, a lot of things are made of complete conflict. I was just reading about the Beatles' White Album. They were completely in conflict on that record, and it's a masterpiece. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, so, it's who knows what's going on backstage. The work speaks for itself.
Who do you think is the asshole in the Beatles?
John.
I'm guessing John.
You're gonna go John Lennon?
Yeah.
It had to be John.
But like an asshole because he cares, or he's just like an asshole just to be an asshole?
You know, Ringo was just happy to be there, so he wasn't the asshole.
John.
Had to be.
Ringo was like, holy shit, I get to do this with these talented guys.
Just to bring Yoko in was a dick move.
Yeah, that was definitely kind of a passive aggressive. Look what I can do because I'm John and I'm a genius.
Right.
Thing. Hey, what kind of ups and downs did you have? That's
Well, the thing I want to tell you is that after 5 years of TV, my dad did 3 years of Star Trek and went right into Mission Impossible, another intense 2 seasons. And when he was done and when he was relaxed a little bit, he took a look at me, and I was 17, and it was not pretty.
Right.
It was not pretty. There was a lot of conflict. I was into the dead by then. I was into my own thing. I was good at school, but I was definitely, into a wild party Southern California lifestyle. This is a guy who grew up in the Depression in Boston.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's selling newspapers in the Boston Common at 10 years old. At 10 years old, it was, rock and roll and girls for me.
Can you imagine being from Boston? You fast forward, you have a Southern California kid.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh,
it was not.
Man, what a different lifestyle that is.
Yeah, there were a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of conflict, and in fact, I talked a lot about the fact that about 7 or 8 years ago, we were completely estranged from each other.
Wait, of this 7 or 8 years ago now?
Yeah. We were we were not even really talking.
For how long?
For like 3 years.
Was it your fault or his?
It was, it was both. I mean, we both had our part in it, and frankly, we both had to go into recovery. I mean, he talked a lot about his alcoholism, and I was a deadhead. I mean, need I say more? I was just like, I had some substance issues, and we had to do a lot of work on ourselves. And we're lucky that he was around for the third act because we spent the last 5 years really close and really in a loving relationship. Wow. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit in the film, about the fact that it's, not too late to reconnect, but you got to do some work on yourself.
How are you doing these days?
I'm sorry?
How are you doing these days?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been clean for 11 years now, and, my kids have never really known me to be, inundated. Is all I can say. So it's been a good lifestyle. How long it's going to last, I don't know. It's a one day at a time kind of thing, and I just love I'm really happy with where I'm at right now. I got great kids, great family. My extended family is great, and I'm doing I think this is meaningful work that I really want to do. I directed 10 seasons of TV, and this is a great opportunity to create a love letter to my daughter says I hate love letters. It's too sentimental. Don't say that anymore. But it is. I'm making this film for my dad, for Spock, whom I adore, and the fan base, which has been very vocal and very supportive of this project, and they want it. And I think it's going to be a really nice tribute, particularly because we've got the 50th anniversary of Star Trek: The Original Series coming up next year, which is a real mind blower.
Grateful Dead and Star Trek same year. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did you do any acting yourself?
No, I was my dad told me I had to go to acting class if I wanted to be a director to learn about the actor's process so I can talk to these people and know what their concerns are.
So you never really wanted to be an actor?
No. I mean, an actor is in front of the camera. That was never my thing. It was not something that I really wanted to do. A lot because of the fact that, celebrity, the idea of celebrity to me, having experienced it firsthand with my dad, was just not my thing. He was really good with the fans. He was really good in public. We could not do anything anywhere together without him being mobbed, as a kid, which was a real issue for me. We couldn't go to a restaurant. He took me to a carnival, at a church in the neighborhood. Immediately mobbed. Immediately. This is 1967. And that was just not, that lifestyle is just not something that was appealed to me, really. I always wanted to. That's why, actually, I'm a lawyer. I went to law school because I wanted to do something where I had a regular job and a steady job, which turned out to be completely, fallacious. That never really happened even as an attorney. But then when I wanted to do something more creative, and I was in acting class, and I was digging it, and I was really liking the work, and getting up there and doing the work and performing. But that was really a part of the process of learning how to direct and learning how to work with talent, and that's really why I wanted to be behind the camera.
How often do people see you and go, Adam Nimoy, you're any relation to? And you're like, yes.
Yes, I am. Well, yeah. I mean, now it's fine. I'm totally cool with it. But when my dad and I were at odds with each other, it was like, I would have I'd have some conflict with my old man, and we'd have a knockdown, drag out. He's a tough character, my dad. And I could be tough too. When the two of us were together and it was not good, we were banging heads. And then I would split, and I would go to pick up my laundry or something. And this is my book, My Incredibly Wonderful Miserable Life. It's in there, man. I would go pick up my laundry, And it's like, I'm so pissed off. And the guy at the desk was like, okay, what's your last name? Nimoy. Nimoy? Are you related? Yeah. Can I get my shirts? Oh, man, your dad saved he must be a great father. He saved my life. That guy is so incredible. He saved my life in college. You're so lucky to have him as a dad. Dude, can I just please get my shirts?
Yeah. He's like, here's your dry cleaning. Live long and prosper. Come on, blow me.
But, and then it was that way for a while. But it's not exactly what came out of my mouth, but it was that way for a while. It was a little bit like, give me my shirts, man.
And you directed on TV for 10 years? Anything we know?
NYPD Blue, Ally McBeal, Gilmore Girls, The Practice, Murder One, Babylon 5, Vengeance Unlimited, other shows that didn't quite.
But actually, you and your dad had ups and downs and everything, and then you directed him in an episode of Outer Limits.
Correct.
So was that like
no? That was one of the up moments. That
really
was our
was?
up moment. Yeah, we had an up moment there, and it really worked out well. I mean, he really helped me out on that. He was starring in a role in a show that he had done in '62 before Star Trek. We did a remake, and he stepped up to the plate for me and helped me get that gig by bringing himself on board, tying him into that project. And it was a really, really good project, and we had a pretty good time on it.
But was there ever a moment where he made a choice as an actor and as a director you're saying, well, maybe you should do it this way, and you guys would...
No. I mean, he worked with me a lot. I mean, there were a lot of issues on that were not related to his performance issues, just to get the show done and get it done on time, and with the guest cast. But he was there for me on that one. He was it was there for me a lot of times, but there were a lot of times when
Where was your mom in this whole thing? With you and your dad butting heads?
Well, my mom was... I don't know, man. She just, she tried to, she had to stay out of it, which I was glad about. I mean, she felt bad about the conflict. She felt real bad about it. They divorced in '86, but in the '80s, the '80s were like the highest of the highs and the lowest of the low, the best of times and the worst of times, because he was directing Star Trek 3 and 4 and 3 Men and a Baby. But he was also getting divorced from my mom, and he was dealing with his alcohol issue. And that's when he and I were really slugfesting it out. It was really bad.
Wow. Punching.
Well, not punching, but, nose to nose. Let me put it to you that way. There were a couple of nose to nose.
The Nimoy nose to nose.
Who reached out to who, like in later life?
We reached out to each other. We just waited, and we were patient with each other, and he got better, and I got better. We did a lot of work on ourselves, and then I was with I was divorced at that time, and I was seeing somebody who was really nice, and she would kind of help bridge the gap between us, and that's the weird thing, I mean, when I got divorced, I didn't even call my old man because we were so at odds. That was 2004. But then that girl who kind of brought us back together, I married that girl, and then a year and a half later, she was gone from cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the first, when she was diagnosed, the first person I called was my old man. He was my go-to guy during that whole period. Him and his wife, Susan, my stepmother. I don't know how I made it through that 18 months. It was not good, and they were there every step of the way. My sister was there, and Martha, my late wife's mother, was there to help me, and it was my dad and Susan every day asking me what I needed, what they could do for me, bringing me food, and they were incredible. It was absolutely, I was so lucky I had him. I mean, I'm telling you, my first phone call when I found out that she was not going to make it was to my dad, and he was completely supportive.
Did you know immediately? Did they tell you, or did they give you to say, well, it's possible, or like from the initial diagnosis, did they say it's not going to happen?
The initial diagnosis, when I was with Martha, they said, you got to go to treatment. This is what you got. That's what they say. Let's see how you respond to treatment. The guy who diagnosed her was a guy I knew. He was a soccer dad, and I knew him. And a couple days later, I called him and I said, I want to know now. I don't want to hear this bullshit about, let's see how you respond to treatment. He said, she's not going to make it. Her tumor's too big, and she's got lymph nodes involved and all this other shit. And, and then I said, thank you very much. I broke down in my car. I was in a parking lot, and then I called my old man.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I called my old man, and he said, where are you? He was at dinner with my uncle, his brother. And I said, he said, where are you? I said, I'm in a parking lot in the marina. You don't even need to come. I just need to tell somebody, and you're the guy I chose to tell.
Cue the Grateful Dead music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you tell her that you knew that, or no?
Yeah, she didn't want to know. She didn't want to know.
That's horrible.
Were you grateful that he told you the truth, or do you wish you hadn't?
No, I was grateful he told me. I wanted to know, man. I mean, the girl was sick, and I needed to know. And I'm the caretaker. I'm her. I just married her 4 months prior. And it's a heavy trip for a caretaker. I mean, a lot of people out there know what I'm talking about. It's a real, and I went to a group with a bunch of, husbands who had wives who were dealing with this issue. And I needed a lot of support. It's a really, really, it's tough on the caregiver. And if it's your spouse, you're it. And I stepped up to the plate because I really loved that girl. I had 3 years where we weren't dealing with that issue, and she made me really happy, and she was kind of the catalyst that brought my family back together.
And since her, have you found anyone else, or are you is it too hard to replace?
No, I'm. Jim, I'm on the market, man.
Well, me and you both. How do you feel about hookers? 'Cause I love them.
Sometimes they look really good.
Oh my God! When you were younger, were you able to use "My dad is Spock" as a pickup line, like when you were in high school or younger than that, or did that ever get you laid?
No, I don't think it ever got me laid. I never really publicized that that I'm the son of Spock.
Right.
That was never my. I mean, I did that once in Hebrew school, and the class went berserk, and I was like, okay, I'm not freaking doing that
again. What kind of memorabilia you got from the Star Trek days?
Well, I managed to hold on to. I'm a collector. I wish I had more of these. I have a dozen original scripts that my dad used in the production that he's got notes on.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a dozen of those. And I have the last pair of Spock ears he wore on the original series that he kept that I managed, that was given to me. So I have those.
Where are the ears right now?
Yeah, I know. Where are the ears right now?
Where are they?
Where are they right now? They're in a vault, man.
I would assume.
They're in a Swiss vault.
I would assume they're in a vault. Because, man, as far as collecting goes, that's a biggie.
Yeah, that was a biggie.
Do you have anything from In Search Of? Because that was my favorite series. I loved them in that.
I was about to say, of everything your dad did, I wasn't a huge Star Trek fan, but I was a huge fan of In Search Of.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
That Bigfoot shit and the Loch Ness Monster. Oh, my gosh.
Nothing ever got solved, but it was just such a great show to
It was
watch.
his voice. It would creep you out, too.
Right.
Yeah, that was a great show. That really kept us actually going in the 70s because when Star Trek was over, he needed a gig, and he did a lot of theater work, but that doesn't really pay the bills. But In Search Of was really consistent. He liked it because it was kind of challenging. We did an In Search Of Vincent van Gogh because he did a one-man show.
That's right.
About Theo, Vincent's brother, and we went to the south of France. We were in Amsterdam, kind of retracing Vincent's steps, and that was a really great episode. My dad it was very interesting. For a guy who had very little formal education, he had a very fine mind. And he was, hungry for information. He was always interested in different things and kind of in search of, even though there were some shows that we call placebo that were just kind of, filler shows. There were a lot that were really interesting and fascinating and challenging, and I think he really enjoyed it.
What was the filler show? Like, what was it? I'm sure I'd seen it. What was it In Search Of?
I don't even remember. There's the afterlife stuff. It's like, I mean, come on, man, really? But there were a couple of those. But it went for several seasons, and it really kept us going and kept him going and kept him able to pursue an artistic career. That was the thing about him. He was very hungry to challenge himself, and the theater work he did was freaking mind-boggling. I mean, he did Equus here on Broadway, and that blew my mind completely. He was so good at it.
Bermuda Triangle, that wasn't a flop. Let me see.
Yeah.
Bigfoot is good. Killer Bees is good. Earthquakes. The Mummy's Curse might be one. Martians. Psychic detectives. There you go. All right.
All the alien ones creeped me out as a kid. Because In Search Of seemed like everything here is real.
Dracula.
No, Dracula.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was up with 3 Men and a Baby? How did that come about? That seems so weird.
Yeah, that was a weird thing, man. That was such a confluence of factors that happened together at one time. The director who made the French version apparently got sick and bowed out of that movie. So my dad came in to kind of pinch hit the thing.
Wow.
At the last minute. And it was just perfect. Everything just worked. He got a decent script that he was able to work on in time. He had a great production crew in Toronto that were making the film. The guys in the film, Ted Danson and Tom Selleck and Steve Guttenberg, those guys, they stepped up and they were in it and they were having fun on it. And every day, they were rocking every day. And they just managed to get good shit day after day after day. And Dad was really prepared. It was a great experience. And interestingly enough, I think that was the last thing that he talked about with the family before he passed away was his experience on that film.
Wow. Were those guys able to improv on set?
Yeah, they added a lot of their own, stuff on set, let's say. Is that an inside joke?
No, well, he
sorry.
That's cool.
So Mark was brutally cut from a film because he was asked to improv, and it just had a real rough time.
He just had a bad day.
Oh, okay.
Mark Norman is a very funny guy and a very funny writer, but, you know.
Not off the cuff.
Off the cuff, it was an abomination and humiliating.
So if you a little movie called Trainwreck that's going to do big numbers in a couple weeks here. So, hey, 3 Men and a Baby, was that a ghost or not?
Oh, no, man, no ghost. I mean, first of all, it's a set. It wasn't a real apartment. It's a set. And number two, it was a stand-up full figure of Ted Danson, who was an actor.
I know, but they won't leave it alone. They think it's a fucking ghost on set.
Whatever it works, whatever turns people on, man.
There you go. That's a kid, though. There's the picture.
It's a stand-up. This is what my old man told me. It's Ted Danson that they had to cut out because he was so narcissistic as an actor. He had pictures of himself everywhere. You know, just, you know, when he gets beat up at night, when he comes in and the other guys think he's like breaking into their apartment and they start to beat the shit out of him. He says, "Don't touch my face."
Right. That doesn't look like Ted Danson. It looks like a Ghost Boy to me.
Yeah, well,
In Search of Ghost Boy.
Why is that in there? That's a good one. Why is it in there?
It's in there because
someone left it on
what my
set.
dad told me was a stand-up that Ted Danson had pictures of himself everywhere on the set, and they had this cut out of him. I don't know.
That doesn't look like him, though. It's Ghost Boy.
Okay, let's. I'll go back. Let's do an in search of. Okay, we got to revive the series.
And we found another one. Swamp. What was it called? Swamp Monster. Swamp Monster. That was a fill-in show.
Yeah. Was there a time where your dad couldn't get work because he's so typecast? It's like why when you see somebody as like. Such a, why am I explaining typecast?
In the 70s, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there was the guy that's why he wrote this book, I Am Not, which he miscalled I Am Not Spock, mistitled. It was not that easy for him to find work. I mean, he had to really, stretch himself out a little bit, and that's why the theater work started coming in. He took it right away, but there was not a whole lot of TV that he was interested in, and there was no feature work really being offered to him at that time. And that's why, to challenge himself and keep himself going as an actor, he did all this theater. I mean, so much. Fiddler on the Roof, Man in the Glass Booth, the Equus, 6 Rooms Riverview, the Four Poster. I mean, all this stuff he was doing to keep himself going. And then in the 80s, the movies came in, and to challenge himself again, he agreed to come back as Spock, which he was willing to do, but he got behind the camera and started directing those things, using the leverage of saying, hey, I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it unless you give me this, the directing gig. Leverage is a big part of what Hollywood's all about, and he used it well, and he was, it turned out he was very talented at it, because Star Trek IV was one of the highest grossers of the whole original cast series of Star Trek films. So, and he was a very good director, and he taught me, when I was becoming a director, he sat me down and gave me all the tools I needed, and some really, really, important stuff that I needed to know, like, don't worry about where the camera goes, worry about talking to your actors and figuring out what the scene is about. I mean, he really had a talent for storytelling, and that's something that he, shared with me, and something I really appreciate learning from him.
This is going to be a great documentary.
Yeah, I love that it seems really honest.
Are you going to get JJ involved from the later Star Trek films, JJ Abrams?
Yeah, he's agreed to be interviewed for the film. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so he's going to sit down with us and do on-camera stuff.
And you got Zachary to narrate it.
Zachary's going to narrate it. I've got 10 years of experience.
He's the new Spock.
So he's going to help me out with that, and it's going to be a great film because we're going to look at the life of Spock, we're going to look at the life of Leonard Nimoy and who he was before he came to Spock and what happened afterwards. And we're going to be, a lot of people have told me I have to do it. Wasn't even thinking about this, but my story with my old man is going to be a part of that as well. The growing up with Star Trek, the loving the show from the very beginning and being on set all the time, becoming a teenager and having some conflict with him and working out our various substance issues and then coming back together again. People want to hear it, and I'm ready to tell it because of the fact it's a happy ending.
That's much more interesting to me than anything Star Trek oriented. Is that stuff?
Yeah.
Thank you. And great news, we have raised $3,231.
Hey. Oh, that's fantastic! Yeah, I mean, go to Kickstarter, please. I need the fan support.
Can you refresh that? I hope we raise more than $3,000.
Hopefully, raise more. Yeah,
hopefully.
It takes a while to refresh.
It takes a little while.
That's what we tell ourselves. It takes a little while to refresh.
Don't worry, it takes a little while for the counter to catch up.
We need the support. We're done at 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday the 1st, and it's over. I only need a little over $50,000 to go. If you're listening, I would appreciate any support you can. $5, you can pledge up to $10,000. go to the Kickstarter page, look up For the Love of Spock, pledge what you can. Please do it now and not wait till the last minute. We need to get the $600,000 is really what I need to get the project done. It's a lot of complicated stuff. I got to license film clips of Star Trek, the movie, the original series. I got to license still photographs. I got to license film clips of Dad in TV shows. He did dozens of TV shows before he even got to Star Trek. You know, all this stuff costs money. And then I got to be in the editing room with a guy for like 3 months before we have to deliver a cut of this film to the festival. We're trying to screen in film festivals next year, and we're trying to get it done in time for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. So there's a lot of pressure on us. We need to do film score. We got to license film music. We got to get a sound editor.
Adam,
you know, we got a lot to do.
Adam, relax. You're going to get us. Okay.
Yeah.
You're panicking. You're
Okay.
panicking on us.
Okay.
You got this. We know this is just a fun interview. We got this.
Okay, cool.
You're going to get the 600,000.
Thanks, Opie.
Maybe not
Thanks,
from
man.
us, but you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Because people really loved your dad.
I appreciate it.
And I like you, man. Adam, you're all right. You're well spoken. There was something in there that you said. Who's giving you a tough time with the clips? Anybody?
No.
Everyone's been cool?
No, the clips are all good. Everybody has given us permission to use the clips. It's that I have to deal with this corporate, these corporate guys who own them. And it's a business. And even though they're trying to work with me to give us, a discount because we need so many of these freaking clips. We need at least a half an hour.
Yeah.
They're helping us out to make it happen within our budget. But still, it still costs money.
Great. We got Shark Guy outside the studio.
We should break, maybe? Take a break?
I need to know. Favorite Dead song?
Oh, man, favorite Dead song.
Touch of Grey, right?
Yeah, it's very obscure. And
good. That'll make some Deadheads happy.
Okay, the song is called Cold Rain and Snow. And it's what they did at Winterland in October of 1970, because they've done that show. They've done, obviously they do these songs over and over. They've done that song 200 or 300 times. But Winterland, October 1970, Cold Rain and Snow, that song just kicks ass. The whole band is completely behind it. There's only 2 chords in that song, but it rocks. Jerry just tears it apart at the solo. I love that song, Cold Rain and Snow, Winterland, October 1970.
See, you are like,
wow, Deadhead.
Because you did you collect the tapes?
I had the tapes in the
back in the day,
I have.
People would brag. I got I don't know.
Yeah, I got 42971, man, 5270. We had them all.
Certain dates were very hot.
Did you have more than 100 different shows?
Back then I didn't have more than, I probably had less. I had like 30, 40 shows maybe, and that was enough to keep me going.
Now you can get them so easily. There's got to be a way to grab them all online, right?
Yeah, they're on the line. There's Dick's Picks. They're all over.
Well, do you got Sirius XM?
I got it, baby.
They got the Grateful Dead channel.
Love it.
And they do a lot of those live shows.
Yeah.
Do they do a good job? I have no idea.
They do a really good job.
I go there from
David
time to time.
Lemieux and David Gans, those guys do a lot of the programming, and the show is incredible. They have complete shows that they pick that as their favorites, and Rob Bleedstein's on there, and he picks. He's got an incredible library and an encyclopedic knowledge of the Dead. It's really balanced between stuff that radio stuff, record stuff, and shows. So they have a little something for everything for every Deadhead.
Right on.
You ever hear Casey Jones?
Yeah, that was the encore they played on Saturday night. Casey Jones, which was really cool.
They call that Begetter Dead.
Yeah. I only know two Dead songs, and I named them both.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, Bruce Hornsby sang Casey Jones. It was excellent. They were awesome. They're just an awesome band.
Adam Nimoy, a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And let's get Love of Spock on Twitter if you want to be involved on Twitter, or go to Kickstarter. This sounds like an awesome project.
It's going to do great. You're going to come back and promote on our show, right? We'll see you again.
I hope so. When I have the film, I hope to come back. Opie, I really appreciate it.
Or just if you're in New York, stop on by and say hi.
Thank you.
All right, Adam Nimoy. We got Mark Norman in studio. And for Shark Week, we got Paul de Gelder. I believe it's the guy we talked to last time.
It is, yes. I will probably be gone.
What is that about?
I can't say what it is, but I have a fitting for a shoot.
They
have to fit me into clothes.
Are you going to be in The Love of Spock?
Yes, I am.
Yeah? What's your part?
And I'm probably playing some fucking creepy alien from Star Trek. I guarantee I look like at least one mush that they fucking found on a planet. I've never seen all of them, so I'm sure I look like something they encountered and killed. Eric?
We raised another $196.
100?
Hey!
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. I love it. Thank you, guys.
I don't know about Opie and Jim. I think it's Opie and Mark Norman. That's what I'm talking about.
It's about time.
It is about time. 2 times in the show, and you move right up to the hosting seat.
Yeah.
Nice. Justin Stengel in studio. Did you like the Adam Nimoy?
I did like the Adam Nimoy.
He was fun.
He was.
Well spoken. He had a tough time with his dad, as the rest of the world loved his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's really sad when Star Trek is on everywhere in the world, and at any time of day he could see his dad, and he just in watching that would think like everybody loves this guy, but he's not giving me the attention.
What do you think he wants to call that documentary?
It's
My dad was a dick, but you guys all loved him, so enjoy this.
Yeah.
Might be a little wordy, but
but that's the idea.
Yeah.
Well,
I like that.
Spock didn't love me.
I liked Adam right away.
He was cool.
Yeah,
Good
he's
guy.
definitely cool. We got to get the shark guy in. He only has 8 minutes with us, 10 minutes with us. I remember this guy from last year.
Yeah.
He's hard to forget. Paul de Gelder. I remember you, Paul.
Yeah, I remember you too.
What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mark.
That's Mark Norman, a very
Nice to meet
funny
you.
stand-up comic. That's Justin Stengel. He's a geek. He worked on Letterman as a head writer for a long time with his brother Eric, who's in that corner.
Hello. How you doing?
Sit down, man.
Where do you want me?
Right here.
You got to explain the arm and the leg to Mark Norman. I know the story, but it's worth repeating, sir.
Rightio.
Boy, oh boy, that's exciting.
They have figured out the fake arm.
It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And has it changed since last year?
No,
Was it last
same
year
one.
or 2 years ago?
Last year.
Last year. So they didn't make any adjustments since last year in the
No.
technology?
The leg's different. I got a different leg now. It's pretty much the same one, but it's waterproof now.
Okay.
So while I can't dive with it because it's not waterproof at pressure, I
Right.
can go swimming now. So that's just adds a whole element to my life.
Wait,
Now,
you could swim with a fake...
well, this leg is electronic. It's got 6 microprocessors in it, accelerometers, gyroscopes, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And usually they're not waterproof because they're electronic.
Right,
so,
sure.
But this one's fully waterproof, so it changes my... I can go hiking and swimming and get out and keep hiking. I don't have to carry another leg with me, which sucked.
You have to set the leg when you know you're going to go swimming?
No, just...
Programming it?
Just get in.
Wow.
The technology is unbelievable. I saw someone walking down Columbus Avenue a year or two ago with the fake leg, and I was like, it blew my mind because it looked like it was a real leg. Just
Wow.
how they have it moving now and stuff.
Yeah. It's
Amazing
so good. There's
technology.
no better time to be an amputee now.
Right.
If you've got the money.
Right.
Yeah, because it's some expensive
But they never
stuff.
had the arm figured out. When I was growing up, I had a friend, his dad had the hook, and that's all he had was
Right.
the lousy fucking hook.
The hook,
You couldn't
yeah.
get anything done with
It's
that.
hard to replicate a hand. You know, If
Yeah.
you're going to lose a limb, you don't want it to be a hand because you don't realize how useful they are and how complicated they are until you don't have it.
Right.
You know, imagine trying to use a dustpan and broom with one hand.
Right,
Like, It's just the tiny little things you don't think about that become so difficult.
But you could now move your fingers and everything. And
Yeah. It's pretty good. It changes grip. Sometimes it's been playing up. Usually give it a little flick. No. Yep, there it goes. And it's got a beer drinking grip.
Wow.
If you're going to have a robot hand,
Yeah.
surely you got a beer drinking grip is essential.
Yes.
I don't know what else this grip is for. Maybe nipple gripples?
No, not on me. Not on me.
Or throwing up a gang sign? I don't know. I just use it for beer.
What kind of pressure could you really get on that hand?
Hard. Like if it gets you across the knuckles.
Ow! Yeah, it's got a
pretty
grip.
solid. So that's the man handshaking.
And
grip.
that was you really controlling the grip there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just kept squeezing. Sorry.
Can it go harder?
It'll get to a certain point and it'll slow down and then it'll just keep going.
Yeah, no, that hurts.
All right, here's the dumb question. I'm sure you've been asked a lot. Does it start feeling like it's your original hand or arm?
Not really.
Not really. Okay.
Because there's no sensation. There's no spatial awareness. You can't feel anything.
Right.
The more you use it, though, the more you learn how to use it, and the more you implement in your life. I got used to not having a hand for a really long time.
Wait, how long didn't you have a hand for?
Probably the first year.
Okay.
And then when I did get the hand, it was quite fragile, and my life's pretty hectic. I went back to work as a Navy diver and an instructor, so I was snapping fingers off it.
Oh, my
I kept
God.
breaking it.
Wow.
Snapped it in half, arm wrestling. So,
Mark, by the way, a shark did this to him.
I figured that.
I'm sure you figured out. You did the.
I was like, wait, was that a Puerto Rican? What are you talking here? I couldn't figure it out.
A Navy diver, and he was on The Job, I remember, and a shark came out of obviously pretty much nowhere. You didn't see the shark before it attacked you. I remember.
It just came up from underneath, and I was on the surface on my back, and we were doing a counter-terrorism exercise. So I was in the water by myself, doing what we call finning. I had a pair of fins on, and I was just kicking along with my hand by my side, and the shark came up from underneath me, grabbed my hand and my hamstring all in one bite, and just ripped it out. Came within a millimetre of severing my femoral artery. If that had happened, I would have bled out and died before I'd even got out of the water. Wow. So I'm super lucky. The guys in the safety boat pulled me in and saved my life, basically.
And I remember this from the last time we talked. He decided to have his leg amputated.
Yeah,
Right?
I had it for a week, but day by day the foot was looking darker, and the shark had removed the hamstring and the 25 centimetres of the big nerve in your leg too. So not only could I not feel it, I couldn't move it. And the doctor basically gave me a choice, and he said, you can keep the leg, but it's going to be useless, and you'll carry it around like a lump of wood. Your life will suck. You'll never run. Or we can remove it, and you can be walking, possibly running on a prosthetic within 12 months. And I was doped to the eyeballs. I'm on morphine, I'm on ketamine. So I looked at him and I said, Doc, you just take my leg and turn me into a Terminator.
Yes.
Wow. And he's in better shape than all of us.
I know. You look amazing.
I don't want to hear any excuses from anyone about that they can't get back, can't get in good shape.
I hate to one-up you here, but when I was in college, I tore my scrotum. And it turned black.
No, really?
Yeah, but I kept them. I didn't cut those off. Yeah.
Good plan.
How'd you tear your scrotum?
I got into a fist fight, and I was losing, and so I tried to jump a fence. I was in a backyard, and the fence had spikes, and I just, so drunk, I just straddled it, and then I fell. I rolled off, and it caught me. And, that was it.
That was it for the scrotum for a while.
Yeah. I went to work the next day, showed my boss, and I got off work.
How big did the scrotum get? Did it swell up?
It swelled up, and I saw a ball. I actually saw the inside. It was crazy. It looks like a peach pit.
I prefer sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I got it sewn up. I had to wear a jockstrap for a month.
Jesus.
Yeah. Good times.
Paul, we only have you for a few minutes because, it's Shark Week, so you're in high demand here.
Yep, we're rolling around all week. We've got my show, Brighter Jaws, coming out on Tuesday at 9, I believe. Obviously, it's the best show on Shark Week.
Sure.
And we went out hunting for this massive, the biggest tagged great white in Australia. The tag had gone down. No one could find her. So we went out hunting for her using all of this cool equipment, fin cams, and we actually dangled Andy out over the back of the boat trying to get this fin cam on, which was just stupid because some of these sharks were jumping half their body out of the water, like over near the other boat. So anyway, he's still alive.
How big?
Like the one we're looking for is 18 foot. So she's massive.
Do you have a vendetta? Do you want to fucking kill these bastards?
Nah, they're just
be honest. You
amazing
punched one.
animals. I punched the one while it was attacking me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Does that work? They always say punch in the nose.
It didn't do anything.
It's amazing.
But that's what I hear too. But it didn't do anything. So anyway, we went out on this crazy mad adventure. I nearly got eaten again.
Oh, why?
I thought it'd be a good idea to get in a red kayak. With all these gigantic great white sharks around. So I was trying to get the fin cam on the shark because we'd been trying for hours, couldn't get it on. So in desperation, I get into this red kayak.
Why pick red?
Yeah.
It was the only one that was there, but that was a bad idea. Needless to say, the kayak did not survive.
The dead seal kayak wasn't available?
No.
You got video of that?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I'm watching.
Yep. As soon as Andy got in the cage, we had this crazy little one-man cage that was dangling off the back of the boat by, rope. Because obviously sharks can't bite through rope. And we had these floats on the side that for some reason were covered in this furry black thing. Doesn't look like a dead seal at all, does it?
Right.
So one of the sharks decided it was going to eat the float. If it had actually eaten another one, Andy would have sunk to the bottom.
Wow.
Man. So it was intense.
Kayak is scary too because you flip over in that thing and you're just stuck in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't last very long.
What's the deal with the sharks? I mean, they don't really like eating us, right? They bite and then realize, oh, this is shitty meat, and then they move on in general.
Exactly. And that's why you don't hear about people getting eaten, so to speak. They get bitten.
Do they have to be really desperate to actually keep eating you?
Yeah, really hungry. One of the theories goes that they're old or sick and they just can't go fast enough to catch the fish or catch the seal. So out of desperation, they go for whatever they can get. And, it's really sad that has to happen, but we are extremely delicate animals.
We have to wrap, unfortunately, because you're very busy. But quickly, with all the shark attacks down there in North Carolina, what do you have any idea what that's about? Why it seems like there's more, especially in that area?
Look, I don't know the details specifically of the area, the shark history, or anything like that. It could be a fact that a lot of sharks are in the area and they're breeding and they're feeling aggressive. And when sharks mate, they bite each other and hold on and things like that. So it could be.
Seem like lovely creatures. Sharks, huh?
Yeah, right.
But it could be murky water. It could be an early or late in the afternoon. The visibility's low, and they're just confused. They're not super complicated, smart animals. Their brains are quite small.
One theory that I saw was that they were going after sea turtles or sea turtle eggs.
Could be.
Yeah. So, and there were 6 attacks in North Carolina.
Yeah. So we last summer we closed down one of the beaches for 10 days. Just be smart about it. Stay out of the water for a little while, and you'll be fine.
And stop looking like a sea turtle.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. How about a salad every once in a while?
Fucking violets.
Whatever that means. Paul, thank you. They're saying you got to go. I could certainly talk to you longer. So the show's what time? And
Tuesday on Discovery Channel.
Tuesday, Discovery
9
Channel, 9 p.m. I'm watching. I like Paul de Gelder.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You got to awkwardly
get out of here.
Yeah, because we just took a break, so.
No worries. Thanks for having me, guys.
Shake.
See you later.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Squeeze it out this time.
Take it easy.
That's the girl grip.
All right, appreciate it.
He gave you the girl grip?
Yeah, it was still pretty hard.
He gave you the girl grip.
Thought that was a solid grip.
He is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, what a hard ass.
I wouldn't go anywhere if there's a shark attack.
No.
You stay home forever.
I wouldn't go in a pool. I wouldn't take a bath. I certainly wouldn't be going back in with the sharks.
No.
I would guarantee that he has punched someone with that fake
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
fist.
Yeah.
Man, it's sad.
One guy that's just being a wise ass at a bar got a fucking
black fist of fury. Sorry.
He squeezed my hands right across the knuckle like it was like a clamp.
But
that hurt.
It did hurt.
How do you? I don't understand that. So you're using your bicep, I would assume, to get so you could squeeze the fake hand.
It was beeping too. So whatever muscles are controlling it, there's some computer doing something. In there.
The beeping's like, no, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But when he was adjusting his arm to make it do the beer grip where it opened up to the size of a beer, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Badass. That's badass.
Well, just drink the beer with your left hand.
All right,
exactly. Mark was with me.
Also, imagine that guy at TSA. That's got to be a bitch.
Imagine being behind him.
Yeah. All right, let me take my leg off and put it in the bin.
Sir, you mind if I get in front of you? My flight's leaving in 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
So you were talking about you knew a guy with a hook hand?
Yeah, my brother's friend's father.
When Eric and I were young, our parents took us ice skating, and there was like a guy ice skating with like his wife or whatever, and the guy's like, they're like, and skating and we're gonna fall. But the guy had a hook hand, and Eric and I were whipping around the ice, and as the guy was losing his balance, he was waving the hook hand around and literally like almost took my eye out.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, if you have a hook hand, don't be like, I'm going to learn how to ice skate today.
Yeah.
That's 40 people.
Hey, that's hook shaming.
Do not
hook shame.
Sorry.
No hook shaming here. Did we do it? What else were we supposed to talk about? The Paris Hilton thing.
We saw.
I think it's fake, to be honest with you.
It's fake.
Or she would be suing the fuck out of everybody.
We have a video we've been trying to get to for a few days.
Which one?
Francesa clip.
Oh, is Sam around? That's a Sam bit. Is Sammy around? Sammy! Where's Sam?
Oh, he's running.
He's running.
He's running.
He's on his way.
Do you like the Mike Francesa?
I love Francesa.
Who's that?
You?
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
He does sports talk.
He's New York's #1.
Oh, Francesa.
Mike Francesa.
Yeah, he's good.
This video is called 97-year-old Mike Francesa. He explains what an emoji is.
Oh, fun.
Now, I'm so glad we finally, because I didn't know what an emoji was. Now I do.
Well, yeah.
I was waiting for his, is he His Highness? What is his nickname?
The Pope. Sports Pope.
I was
Well,
waiting
he's
for
also-
the sports pope to tell me.
He's just a minister of information at this point. He's had so much life experience. He knows about everything.
Yeah.
Me and Sam especially can't get enough of Mike Francesa clips.
All right.
Can't get enough. And Sam, not a huge sports fan in general, getting better, but
I barely even
listens
watch
to Mike Francesa every day because he's such an asshole.
I barely even watch sports, but I'll be driving home and I'll turn on the fan if I find out that Mike Francesa's on, just because I want to hear a caller get through, want to hear him get mad about something unnecessary.
Right.
By the way, speaking of sports, I want to acknowledge Brian Harmon, who had another fine tournament in the PGA. Now, certainly not all the big guns were playing this past weekend, but certainly enough were. And Brian Harmon, who's been a fan of the old show, the new show, and every show in between, big fan of this program, did all right. I think officially came in third, one stroke out.
That's pretty good.
They had a playoff yesterday. He went birdie, and the look on the 18th green was like, fuck, because he knew he was one stroke off of getting in the playoff. That who won? Bubba Watson won.
Right. Birdie. Tweet that out, am I right?
But Harmon Brian on Twitter is he's one of us. He's one of us. He's a fan of the show, and he does very well on the PGA from time to time. So, but that has nothing to do with Mike Francesa.
No, which is why I don't understand why it would even be addressed.
I apologize. Let's get right into 97. Like I said, it's labeled 97-year-old Mike Francesa explains what an emoji is.
I don't know if that's factually correct, but I think he's about there.
You know that I had numerous opportunities to watch this video, and I chose not to because I wanted to watch it cold.
Oh, it's terrific. I've watched it many, many times.
Tim in Connecticut, what's up, Tim?
Yeah, how you doing? All he ever does is talk about Wally back.
That's it. That's what it's all about, but that's okay. He's allowed.
Nice to have you on Fox Sports 1 today. That's a good surprise.
Thank you.
I'm going to get to that in a second. Well, can I ask you a quick question here? I keep on hearing yesterday and all day today the stupid emoji or whatever. What the heck is that? Does that have something to do with the Twitter?
It has something to do with Chevrolet.
The Chevrolet?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a Chevy commercial.
I can't figure it out.
What is an emoji?
Yeah, what the heck is it?
It's a little thing on your computer. You know the little guy. Like if you get somebody sends you a message. Do you have a text message?
Do you have a text message?
All right. When someone sends you like a thumbs up or something like that.
Yeah. You
know how someone does that? That's an emoji.
Oh, so there's like a whole screen, you push the buttons or something?
No, that thing is called an emoji. That little thing you see is an emoji.
All right, sorry to waste your time on that.
Well, no, listen, I mean, they're paying for you to ask that question, you know.
Oh, so I guess it's working now.
It did. You felt they love you now because they actually got you to think about the emoji. They're happy.
What?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Maybe they should pay me for it then.
No, they're not going to do that. They pay me for it. They're not going to pay you.
All right, he's a sham. Because
the caller, you mean?
Mike Francesa. Because if the emoji wasn't attached to his sponsor, he would have been fucking livid that guy was asking about emojis.
I have to tell you something. The guy asking about the emoji, I believe, is a very well disguised Mongo. I think he was strictly calling up to upset Mike just there.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
But it didn't work because it's his sponsor.
Well, it's also because Mike Francesa had such a strong hold on exactly what it was an emoji is.
Right.
You know, a thing on the computer box on the screen.
Yeah. Do you have one of those, what did he say, texting?
He said, do you have a text message?
You can tell he's an angry guy because the guy calling in was like, I'm sorry to waste your time. He's terrified.
Yes. That's it's a good Mike Francesa clip, but they get way better than that, Mark. They get way better than that, yes.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
Some of our favorites is when he talks about his snowblower. He's really into his snowblower. If you want to look this up after the show.
I will.
If you think he likes emojis, wait till you hear his passion for snowblowing.
He falls asleep on the air in front of everyone because you know his show is simulcast to TV.
Look, so I wasn't asleep.
He falls asleep to the point where his head hits the mic like this. Boom, his glasses hit, and they're all askew. And then he wakes up, and then he'll deny for the next 2 months that he didn't fall asleep.
Look, I wasn't sleeping. I've been doing this for 30 years. If you want to highlight 10 seconds of it, then go ahead. But I don't know why you would do that. Next caller.
But then he sort of admitted that he stays up late and doesn't get a lot of sleep. So he almost admitted it.
He's got a lot of games to watch.
Yeah, right.
Sports Pope.
He almost admitted that he does fall asleep.
He's got like overnight tennis or whatever he's got to watch.
But there's a whole bunch of guys out there that just call every day to try to get under his skin. And every once in a while,
the Mongos.
They're called the Mongos, and every once in a while,
that's right.
Every once in a while, they get gold. Because Mike will lose his mind.
It's not even every once in a while. Like, it just happens to be every once in a while they get caught on YouTube. Pretty much
every day,
several times a week. Yeah, you get a great Mike Francesa moment. Even if it's not even like intentional, like even if he's not upset, just listening to him explain that when his wife gave birth, he said, I don't understand this paternity leave. When my wife gave birth, go down. She gave birth in the morning. You come do the show. You do the show after. What do I got to stay there for?
Yeah, maternity leave for the guys is kind of...
Yeah.
I'm with Mike on that one.
That's a dick move, man.
Right.
Because your wife's in the hospital. She's good. She's good for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what? You're telling your boss you can't come in?
Especially if you've got a very important sports radio show that people are depending on you to be there for.
Right.
I understand using it as an excuse. Like, hey, boss, my wife had a kid. I think I'm going to take the day. But you don't go to your boss and say, I'm going to be on maternity leave because my wife just had a kid. There's a way to say it, is what I'm saying.
Technically, a man should probably say paternity leave, but that's my favorite when a man would say maternity. I usually...
Have they turned it into paternity leave? Because for a while, they absolutely would say maternity leave.
Yeah, any man who says maternity leave would probably
Any
be,
man that says maternity leave or paternity leave should, that's embarrassing. Just tell your boss, look, I think I'm going to take a day.
Yeah.
I get days I decided to take today.
Or you come in, you do the show. It happened in the morning, you do a show in the afternoon.
Right. Who's on your show today, Sammy?
Victor Garber.
No idea.
Oh, he's good.
He was the...
How do I know Victor Garber?
Well, he was the voice of the narrator on a little show called The Slap.
Oh, okay. You got him.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a big get for the Sam Roberts show on this channel at noon today.
And assuming he's on time, which is not an assumption that will be fair to make, DJ Who Kid is scheduled to be on the show.
He was partying with Roland and Giggles.
Giddles! How do you not know Giddles?
Giddles, what is his name?
He's the biggest celebrity on the channel right now.
Giddles.
Taking
Sherrod Small's money.
That's right. We had to send him to Florida and get him fed.
I'm trying to get Sherrod a little money because he's really stepped up and helped us out here. And,
is that right?
And Giddles,
at the time of his life in Florida, covering the Florida SuperCon for this channel.
Oh, wow.
So that's where the coverage was, right here on this channel.
We don't even know Giddles. That's the problem. He's not even really...
It sounds like a weird clown.
Yeah, he's not a broadcaster.
Oh, okay.
In any way, shape, or form.
He looks like Fidel Castro.
Oh, that's a good look.
He really does look like a young Fidel Castro, and he was smoking a Cuban down there in Miami with Roland, I believe.
Oh, nice.
A lot of people don't know this. The reason Giddles has a job here, he deserves it. He's Eroc's friend.
Yeah.
So you can see where...
If you're friends with Eroc, if you're friends with Eroc, they fly you all nice down to like Miami for a few days
and
pick up the tab.
I know for a fact that there's no sort of bashfulness whatsoever, because I was talking to Who Kid last night on the phone, and he said that when Roland and Giddles were hanging out with him in Miami, that as much debauchery as Who Kid has gotten into and not gotten in trouble for, he said the promoters were pissed because Roland ordered $600 worth of food.
$600.
$600.
What does that entail?
I don't know.
Shrimp and lobster? What's he eating?
Roland's slowly making his way down the hall.
Boy.
I confronted Roland about it, and he said, he said I could eat whatever I wanted. He said I could have whatever I wanted.
$100?
$100.
The boss will take the guys out to eat every once. The boss, Jesus, did I really say that? What an idiot I am. The overseer of the channel. And Roland will make it really hurt, and he'll order 2 entrees right in front of his fucking face.
You know, the maddest that I ever saw Don Wickling get at Roland was when Don decided he was going to be a nice guy and bring all the staff out to Chipotle.
Hey, no guacamole.
Roland decides to order 2 burritos and have one in a to-go bag. And he doesn't say anything, and Don pays for the whole thing at the end. And we're all sitting there as a group and as a team, and we're all eating lunch. And like halfway through, Don just realizes what's happened, and he looks, and he goes, Roland, what's in that bag? And Roland goes, the burrito for later.
What about Montreal?
Yes. In Montreal... In Montreal, Roland had some kind of vendetta. I don't remember what it was, but we went to like a fancy steak dinner, and Don got
I was there.
Yeah.
That was the 2 entree meal.
Don got the bill, and Roland ordered. He wanted I believe it was 2 steaks.
Oh, yeah, well, yes.
And then at the end of the dinner, he did not eat the second one, so he just sent it back.
What?
No, he said, you could bill me for it. I don't need it to go. You just send it back.
Wow.
I guessed it, though. I was like, it's cooked right.
Yeah. You didn't eat it, and you didn't take it with you.
No.
You paid for it, and just sent it back.
Don Wickling paid for it.
I'm sorry, Don Wickling paid for it, and you just
returned it.
You know, we're 3 desserts.
For nothing.
3 desserts.
So I can taste each one.
Oh, my God.
Take it away from me.
He didn't eat all 3 desserts, but he certainly tasted each one.
No, but
You're like a gay king.
But who kid said, "Oh, dude, order whatever you want." I said, "Listen, order the whole menu. I don't give a fuck." I was like, "All right."
Damn.
He tested the level to which Who Kid did not give a fuck.
$600?
Well, then there's booze, and I haven't drank in a while, but you know what? This $40 drink looks delicious to me. Bring a couple of them.
There was a $40 drink?
Yes!
How big was
the fuck's in the $40 drink?
It's like a really high-end restaurant. It's like, I got like these Thai lobsters, and then there's like duck fat French fries, and then there was...
So this is $600 in one sitting.
Well, I think you could
it's not
me and
spread
Giddles.
out over a day or
Well, you're
2
not
days.
factoring in Giddles.
Oh, I forgot
Giddles.
Giddles.
And then Giddles go, well, Roland did it. Like, Eric ordered the burger, and Giddles and I were like, no, I got the lobster, the pasta, the steak. I tried a whole bunch of things.
You have to.
It was delicious.
And how big was the $40 drink? Was it like one of those goblets or like a water glass?
No, it's
like
maybe like an 8.5 ounce.
Was it served out of Leonard Nimoy's skull? Hey, $40.
But after my 4th one, I go, do you know what? Yeah, it's delicious.
What?
That's $160.
Good math.
Thank you. Well,
4, 8, 12. Yeah, that's
because
thank you.
I could tell when the bill was big when the guy goes, DJ Hookie, can I talk to you about the bill? And whoa.
Your impression of DJ Who Kid feels racist to me.
I thought it was sort of dead on.
Yeah, I thought he was in the room. I thought he was in the room for a second.
Yeah,
maybe I was
I was like, "Oh, DJ Who Kid's here. Let's ask him what happened."
He told me, he goes, come, order whatever you want, and enjoy yourself. And I had a blast with him.
Wow.
It was a great time.
Wait, you can get a steak as an add-on to your steak?
Yeah.
Did you guys discuss this? I tapped out for a second. Jimmy texted me.
No. It's called the Kirstie Alley.
Says, let's get the steak add-on. It's only $20. So you order a steak, and then you could add on a $20 steak?
In case you need a second steak, you see.
Yeah, it's like a win-win.
But is that like is that for 2 people, or is that a steak with a side of steak?
I think it's a
Depends on who's
steak.
paying.
I think it's a steak, and one of the sides is steak.
More steak.
Yes.
I got
That's
steak skewers.
Skewers.
So is that
I'm having a stroke for a second.
I need a
It's
poncho.
like H filet mignon. It's like $80, whatever. Like, I'll take one of those bad boys.
Oh, no. Eric's now here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but he ordered reasonably.
Eric, you want to add to this?
We heard you got the burger.
Add to the Skittles guy, or whatever his name is.
His name is Giddles,
I
and
know
he's
his name is
a
Giddles.
celebrity on the channel.
He looks like a young Fidel Castro. I'm looking at the picture again
Gills
here.
and I,
That's why I'm
we ate all
repeating
over
it.
Florida. It was very delicious. Cuban, holes in the walls, little Havana.
We ate all over
All over Florida, yeah.
8 holes on the wall.
You want to add to any of this there, Roland? I mean, E-Rock?
Yeah,
what Roland did? Sorry.
The dinner that we were invited to was this very posh restaurant that was like hidden under the hotel. If you didn't know it was there, you'd never see it. And Who Kid goes, no, order whatever you want. And Who Kid ordered like 3 appetizers. And we're like, oh, okay. But we didn't realize that the 3 appetizers was Who Kid's meal. That's all he was having, these little portions. Roland got some kind of lobster pasta, the steak skewers for the appetizer, some weird expensive drink. I don't even remember what it was.
Fantastic.
He said it was $40.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, Roland could not have been happier. He was sampling from other plates these expensive seasoned Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yeah, octopus risotto was out of this world.
Yeah, that too.
And what did
I just had a fork because I was too rich. I pushed it away.
Good.
What did Giblets get?
His name is Giddles.
Giddles.
He had just as much as I did. We both went to the... It was very delicious.
All right.
Yeah, Roland and Gills took full advantage of being in Miami.
Yeah, I heard Eric did not party.
No.
The party was all Giddles and Roland.
Oh, wow.
Having a good old time.
Who's who?
They had cigars. They were walking around topless on the beach. Roland staring at women and not paying attention, and walked into the ocean still in his shorts, shoes, and socks.
It's amazing how much time you guys had to pull this stuff off on this work trip.
Doesn't change. Goes to the con, still covered in ocean
Incredible.
water.
Yeah, Roland, you walking into the ocean just looks like a suicide attempt more than swimming.
Wow, Roland enjoyed himself.
Oh, I had a good time.
Were you supposed to be? Were you needed down there?
Obviously, right?
Once we were at the con, he was...
The answer is I was approved.
You were approved.
That's the fallback. That's the old blame somebody else, you know.
Once we were at the con, Roland was actually very busy. He was coordinating the guests, getting releases, scheduling people who were supposed to be there, and trying to patch holes when people didn't show up, when we got stood up by guests.
He had to patch the holes. He ate them.
So why was Whittles there?
His name, Opie, is Gittles, and he's a celebrity.
But what did he do down there?
He was actually filling it. Matt was supposed to go, my co-host.
What do you mean, what was he doing? He was the talent. He's Gittles.
Gittles, right.
How do you not know your own talent on your own channel? Gittles is a big star.
I gave away too many shows at this point. I can't keep track anymore.
Yeah.
Who was the biggest guest at the con?
Gittles.
Oh,
it was
wow.
Gittles, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Who was the biggest guest? That's a good question.
Biggest guest for me was Paul McGann, who played one of the doctors from Doctor Who. But I guess, at least as far as the crowds go, Max Hernandez, who's on this show called The Last Ship on TNT, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he was on Walking Dead as well. Emily DeRaven had a huge crowd for Lost, and she's on Once Upon a Time.
Boy, you can almost hear the hymens growing back.
I was going to say, those are just guests that you cannot come by here in New York City.
Right.
All right.
Sounds like a ball.
Sounds like you guys had fun in Miami. Next trip is San Diego?
San Diego.
And I hear, why are you bragging about a $2,500 fucking plane ticket?
That's news to me, too. That's news to me, too.
Yeah, my plane ticket was $600. It wasn't $2,500.
Someone tweeted that they asked you about the $2,100 or $2,500 plane ticket.
No, it was $600. So
for San Diego?
Mm-hmm. Round trip.
When are you guys going?
We leave Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Jesus.
Just in time for you to get back on the air.
Oh, are we going? Oh, yeah. You're working.
Yeah.
You have 3 shows.
People's side shows have become way more important than the quote main show around here.
Opie, when I ate the fried pork and the rice, I thought about you. I was like, I think Opie might like this food.
I would have liked that. You should have brought some home.
I ate it.
All right. Is that it from Miami?
Yeah, most of the time. And then they went to the club right after. The Who Kid had this entourage and that walked everybody right down to the stage. Who Kid set up and he's spinning and whatever. And Gittles and Roland are there's a private bartender, so they're getting free drinks. They're waving and fist pumping to the crowd. And then I got to the point where it was too loud for me and it was getting late. I said I got to go back. I had stuff to do, so I left. And these two guys, I guess, didn't get home till like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and then to the beach.
Yeah, they went to the beach out, hammered after the club. They stumbled out on the beach.
So Diddles is a fan of this?
His name is Gittles.
Diddles is a fan of this type of music?
He's just a fan of a good time.
I think so.
Yeah, Who Kid throws a good party.
Were you in his way, though? I have a feeling Roland was in the
No,
kid's
actually,
way.
Roland was kind of tucked off to the back. He was staying very close to the personal bartender.
Yeah. So I go one more, just like
leaning on the back, out of the way, behind a speaker, not causing a fuss. But Roland had a good time.
Some of these interviews will be on your show Friday?
They aired this weekend. It's going to air again this Friday with some other interviews that we haven't aired.
And you just put up the Mark Maron podcast. The podcast.
Podcast.
I think it's time to leave. I think it's time to leave if I'm saying podcast.
Yes.
The podcast.
There's 2 new podcasts up. There's one, Mark Maron, who came in last week talking about his interview with the President of the United States, and also a Piers Morgan / X-Pac podcast is up there with their stories.
Yeah, we need more people to subscribe to the old podcast.
Links are on our Twitter, Opie and Jimmy. Same with our Facebook, Opie and Jimmy. Subscribe on iTunes. Leave a review or a comment or something like that, because that helps boost your ratings with however their system goes. As long as you comment, whatever you say helps us push up our numbers.
Even the shitty comments?
Even the shitty, because people are contributing. No, don't say that, because now you're going to
because they can't help themselves, so might as well work in our favor.
Well, now you just open the doors and say, go for it.
Yeah. Jews are gross. That'll get something cooking.
All right, cool.
So, those 2, and then a new podcast on Thursday.
And I think that might be...
Freeway Rick Ross.
Which, by the way, the video is already on my YouTube channel, Opie Radio. Go
also
check that
up
out.
on the show's Twitters and Facebook.
That was an amazing fucking time. The guy that's pretty much responsible for, cocaine. Mark, in the 80s.
Crack.
Oh, wow.
Crack cocaine. Pretty much, he's the one. He was sitting right where Justin is.
Wow.
He's a fascinating individual, to say the least.
Really
Not Justin. Rick Ross.
Rick Ross.
And he was in prison. Life without parole.
20 years he served.
He served 20 and figured out that they were wrong about his sentencing.
Well, he couldn't read or write, learned to read and write,
and then realized the lawyers fucked up his case, and he figured out the loophole.
Yeah.
And got out after 20 years when he was supposed to be there for life.
Holy shit.
It's an amazing story, for real.
So check the video on Opie Radio on YouTube. The podcast this Thursday will have the entire interview, and you can get his book on Amazon as well.
Well,
nice.
Yeah, I had to pay $20. He had books after the interview, and Bob Kelly started it. He panicked and gave the guy $50, thinking the guy was going to do the right thing and search out change, but just kind of took his $50. And Bobby was not brave enough to say, "Hey, how about some change?" I think it was a quick thank you from Rick Ross, and Bobby's like, "All right, I guess that $50's done."
Oof.
And then I was right behind him, and I was able to get a book for $20.
They were scared.
Yeah.
A little scared.
I don't blame him.
A little scared.
Take your toys home. Go home.
Yeah, Mark Norman, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me. Fun times.
We got to get you in here on a more frequent basis. But what do we got? I know you're promoting...
this damn Southern tour is going to kill me.
July 10th, Theater 99 in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And then July 11th, Funny Business at the Mill Room in Asheville, North Carolina. Isn't that close to Dr. Steve?
It's not that far.
It's close, though, right?
Yeah.
You'll probably see this weird fucking guy.
Great.
With glasses and a haircut that...
Staring at you from the back of the room.
Yeah.
And a haircut that was popular probably 25 years ago. So
basically Jeffrey Gurian.
The southern version of him, yeah.
All right, cool.
But he's a good dude.
Yeah, but, all right.
He looks a little strange, but he's a good dude. Funny Business Mill Room in Asheville, North Carolina. That's on the 11th of July. And then July 12th, Open Chord Music in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Norman is a hilarious dude, man.
Hey, big fan. Thanks for having me.
Mark Norm on the Twitter. All right. And I think that's it. See you tomorrow.